इस शहर को ये हुआ क्या, कहीं राख है तो कहीं धुआं धुआं। क्यों कोई कुछ नहीं बोलता, चुपचाप धुएं को क्यों झेलता। हो गई बर्दाश्त की अब इंतहा, बुझे सिगरेट बीड़ी दिखे जलती जहां। पब्लिक प्लेस पर सिगरेट पीना मना है, उल्लंघन करने पर होगा जुर्माना। धूम्रपान ना करें ना करने दें, धूम्रपान पड़ेगा महंगा। खुशी कौन नहीं चाहता, लेकिन किस कीमत पर। धूम्रपान महंगा पड़ता है। धूम्रपान आपके लिए हानिकारक है और आपके चाहने वालों के लिए भी। धूम्रपान पड़ेगा महंगा।
Mohabbatein is a 2000 Indian Hindi-language musical romantic drama film that was written and directed by Aditya Chopra, and produced by Yash Chopra of Yash Raj Films. The film stars Amitabh Bachchan, Shah Rukh Khan and Aishwarya Rai, and newcomers Uday Chopra, Shamita Shetty, Jugal Hansraj, Kim Sharma, Jimmy Shergill, and Preeti Janjiani. It narrates the story of Narayan, the strict principal of Gurukul College whose daughter Megha commits suicide after he opposes her relationship with Raj, a music teacher at the college. The story follows Raj aiding with 3 Gurukul students and their love interests to rebel against Narayan's intolerance of love. The film was originally planned to be Aditya Chopra's directorial debut, but it was his second film after Dilwale Dulhania Le Jayenge, 1995. Its themes were inspired by those from the 1989 American coming-of-age drama Dead Poets Society. Produced on a budget of more than 100 million Indian rupees, $2.23 million, the principal photography of Mohabbatein, which was filmed in the United Kingdom, was handled by Manmohan Singh between October 1999 and July 2000. Sharmishta Roy and Karan Johar built the sets and designed the costumes, respectively. The duo Jatin Ilalit composed its music while Anand Bakshi wrote the lyrics. Mohabbatein released on the 27th of October 2000 and received widespread critical acclaim, with Bachchan and Khan's performances garnering the most praise. With a total gross of 900.1 million Indian rupees, $20.03 million, the film was declared as a major commercial success and became the highest-grossing Indian film of the year. At the 46th Filmfare Awards, the film received a leading 12 nominations, including Best Film, Best Director, Aditya, Best Actor, Kahn, and Best Supporting Actress, Rai, and won 4 awards, including Best Actor, Critics, Kahn, and Best Supporting Actor, Bachchan. It also received 3 Bollywood Movie Awards, for International Indian Film Academy Awards, 1 Screen Award, and 2 Zee Cine Awards. Narayan has been the strict principal of Gurukul, a prestigious all-boys college, for 25 years. Narayan believes in bringing the best out of his students by emphasizing honor, tradition, and discipline. He disdains fun and is particularly intolerant of romance and threatens to expel any student who is caught having a romantic affair. Despite these rules, 3 Gurukul students, Seema, Vicky, and Karan, fall in love. Seema falls for Sanjana, his childhood friend. Vicky is attracted to Ashika, a student at the neighboring all-girls college, and Karan is infatuated with Kiran, a young widow whom Karan sees alone one night in a train station. Narayan hires Raj Aryan as Gurukul's new music teacher. Raj believes in the power of love and decides to spread love throughout Gurukul. He sympathizes with the predicaments of Seema, Vicky, and Karan, and encourages them to persist and stay loyal to their loves. Raj manages to help all 3 of the boys reach out to their loved ones by getting Seema a part-time job at a cafe in the marketplace outside Gurukul to be closer with Sanjana who lives there, allowing Vicky to attend dance sessions with Ashika at the all-girls college, and giving private piano lessons to Karan to impress Kiran and her family. Raj tells the 3 students he had a special love himself and that although she is dead, she accompanies him every day, as a ghost. One day, as part of his plan, Raj throws a party, to which he invites the students of the all-girls college. Narayan discovers the party and threatens to dismiss Raj. At this point, Raj reveals he had been a student at Gurukul over a decade earlier and that he had fallen in love with Megha, Narayan's only daughter. Narayan had summarily expelled Raj from the college and the distraught Megha had committed suicide. Raj returns to Gurukul to honor Megha's memory by reversing the college's zero tolerance policy on romance. He promises he will fill the school with love and that Narayan will be unable to stop it. Narayan is shocked. He takes this as a challenge and allows Raj to remain. Seema, Vicky, and Karan are able to win over Sanjana, Ishika, and Kiran, respectively. But Narayan retaliates by tightening the college's rules after he caught Vicky arriving late at night, but got saved by Raj. The student body, however, encouraged by Raj, continues to defy the rules and in a final effort to preserve the school atmosphere he has built up for 25 years, Narayan expels the 3 students. Raj speaks up on their behalf, stating they did nothing wrong by falling in love and accusing Narayan of causing his own daughter's death with his intolerance of love. Raj says he feels Narayan lost the challenge because his daughter left him and now Raj, who considered Narayan an elder, is leaving him as well. Raj's words hurt Narayan, who realizes his strict no-romance policy is misguided. Narayan apologizes to the student body, resigns as principal of Gurukul, and nominates Raj as his successor. Raj accepts and reconciles with Narayan. Before the production of the romantic drama Dilwale Dulhania Le Jayenge, 1995, one of the highest-grossing films and the longest-running film in Indian cinema history, Aditya Chopra had started to write Mohabbatein to make his directorial debut. Chopra felt Mohabbatein's subject matter was too mature, making Dilwale Dulhania Le Jayenge his first film as a director and Mohabbatein his second. Wanting his next film to have different themes, he conceived Mohabbatein as a thriller but changed his mind and decided to make another romantic film. He stated, "I realized that there is something in that story that keeps drawing me to it. So one day I just shut my thriller file and casually picked up my Mohabbatein file. That one simple action decided my second film for me." Chopra started to write Mohabbatein after the release of Dil to Pagal Hai, 1997. He wanted it to be about more than just romantic stories. According to the Encyclopedia of Hindi Cinema, the film was inspired by the 1989 American coming-of-age drama Dead Poets Society. Chopra then narrated Mohabbatein to his father Yash Chopra, who was impressed by it. The latter also produced the film under his banner Yash Raj Films. In a screen interview, Yash Chopra described it as a modern film, a film about today, and it has all the ingredients of entertainment for people of all ages. He said the film shows the honor of Indian traditions and their values, adding, "On the whole Aditya has made an honest film, honest to God and honest to the audience who has given us so much." The project was announced in June 1999 on Yash Raj Films' website. Chopra told his father he would cast Amitabh Bachchan, Shah Rukh Khan, and Aishwarya Rai in the lead roles, saying he could not think of other suitable actors. The 3 immediately accepted. Mohabbatein is Khan's second collaboration with Rai after Josh, 2000, and the first with Bachchan. Kajol was the first choice for the role of Megha, but she declined it because of her marriage. Bachchan, playing Narayan, felt the part was his best role after Diwa, 1975, and said he only accepted the part because of the fantastic script by Aditya Chopra, whom he called the little boy. To complete the casting, Chopra sought 6 new actors, 3 male and 3 female. Aditya's brother Uday Chopra wanted to make his acting debut in the film. Aditya Chopra and his assistants traveled across India to find the other 5 newcomers. He cast Shamita Shetty, Jugal Hansraj, Kim Sharma, Jimmy Shergill, and Preeti Janjiani. A gymnasium was built specifically for their training before filming began. Amrish Puri, Shefali Shah, and Helen made special appearances. Aditya Chopra also wrote the film's dialogue. The principal photography of Mohabbatein was handled by Manmohan Singh and commenced on the 25th of October, 1999, taking place in the United Kingdom. Karan Johar designed the costumes for Bachchan and Khan while Manish Malhotra designed them for Rai. Farah Khan was the choreographer. Sharmishta Roy, a frequent collaborator with Yash Raj Films, served as the art director. When asked by Shilpa Bharatanaiyar of ReadyFF.com, Roy described the film as a learning experience. She used many stones for Narayan's office sets and went to Lohar Chawl to buy several additional properties. Roy said she had a good rapport with Aditya Chopra and that the film's production gave her many challenges. "Look, every day, I put up houses. The challenge is in individualizing, in personalizing each house to suit the script and the characters in the narrative." Roy designed 13 or 14 sets for the film. Filming ended between August and September 2000. It was edited by V. Karnik, and Anuj Mathur and Kunal Mehta were the film's sound designers. The duo Jatin Lalit composed Mohabbatein soundtrack and the lyrics were written by Anand Bakshi. The vocals were performed by the debutantes Ishan, Manohar Shetty, Preetha Mazumdar, Shweta Pandit, Sonali Batadekar, and Udbhav. Lalit told ReadyFF.com he thought it was a good idea to have fresh voices for the newcomers so that it also helps the album sound fresh, and said he and Jatin experienced difficulty while suiting their voices. Later Mangheshkar, Udit Narayan, Shah Rukh Khan, and Jaspinder Narula also provided vocals. The film's soundtrack album has 7 original songs and 2 background scores, and was released on the 21st of January, 2000 by Yash Raj Films subsidiary YRF Music. In early November, Yash Chopra sold its rights to HMV and earned an advance of 75 million Indian rupees, $1.67 million US. Critical response to the soundtrack of Mohabbatein was mixed. According to Screen, Jatin Lalit's music, though not chartbuster stuff, is melodious and situational. It grows on you as you watch the film. Ratna Malay of Bollywood Hungama called it a typical Yash Chopra kind with a mixture of Dil to Pagal High. Writing for Planet Bollywood, Avinash Ramchandani described it as an outstanding album with several new singers making a splendid debut, as well as a commendable job by Jatin Lalit, and brilliant lyrics by Anand Bakshi, but Hindustan Times called it absolutely dud. According to the film trade website Box Office India, the soundtrack album sold 5 million copies and became the highest-selling Bollywood soundtrack of the year. Jatin Lalit received a nomination for the Best Music Director at the 46th Filmfare Awards, and were also nominated in the same category at the Bollywood Movie Awards and Screen Awards. Mohabbatein was one of the most anticipated films of the year and the audience's expectations were high. On the 8th of October, 2000, a special screening for the film in Film City was organized with Aditya Chopra, Bachchan and his son Abhishek Bachchan, Shah Rukh Khan and his wife Gauri Khan, and Johar in attendance. The film was released theatrically on the 27th of October during the Diwali celebrations. Its release clashed with those of Vidya Vinod Chopra's thriller Mission Kashmir and K.S. Ravikumar's comedy drama Then Ali. Due to its lengthy running time, theaters screened 3 shows daily rather than 4. Mohabbatein was opened on 315 screens across India and grossed 11.9 million Indian rupees, $264,796 US and 92 cents, on the first day. The film collected 706.2 million Indian rupees, $15.71 million US in India and $4.2 million overseas. Box Office India estimated the film's total gross to be 900.1 million Indian rupees, $20.03 million US, making it the highest-grossing Indian film of the year. It ran at theaters for over 175 days, becoming a Silver Jubilee film. Mohabbatein was released on DVD in a double-disc pack on the 20th of November in all regions. The broadcast rights of the movie were acquired to Sony Network. It has been available for streaming on Amazon Prime Video and Apple TV Plus since the 18th of November, 2016. Mohabbatein received widespread critical acclaim upon release, with Bachchan and Khan's performances garnering the highest praise. Savera R. Sumshwar of ReadyFF.com commented the film is a mishmash all right. But it is also a successful, feel-good film. She described both actors as the 2 pillars on which this film is built, and each time they come face to face, there is this expectant hush. Taran Odorsha Bollywood Hungama rated the film 4 stars out of 5, praising Aditya Chopra for handling the confrontation sequences between the two with aplomb. He added the director is at his best, saying, "Not once do you feel that the writer in Chopra has tilted on any one side." Vinayak Chakravorty concluded, "Clearly, Aditya Chopra faces a downhill task this time around. Shorn of a solid script, bereft of impressive treatment, and lacking any directorial credibility to hold his mega dream, Mohabbatein is a veritable lesson to any budding filmmaker on how not to make a film." Z Next's Vinaya Hagda gave a scathing review of the film, calling it dumb and saying Kerr and Singh were totally wasted. Reviewing Mohabbatein for The Hindu, Savita Padmanabhan criticized the film's duration and the way the confrontation sequences between Bachchan and Kahn are always interrupted by the love stories of the teeny boppers, but Filmfare's anonymous reviewer appreciated them for excelling in their respective roles. Nikhat Kazmi called the film the inglorious uncertainties of cinema, and Khalid Mohammed wrote, back in the romantic mode, Aditya Chopra's Mohabbatein is indeed like a rich, multi-layered, vibgya cake. But frankly, only a few slices tickle the taste buds. Suman Tarafdar from Filmfare said most of the cast members look so unconvinced about their roles and perform accordingly. Screen said Aditya Chopra's untiring efforts are visible in every frame and his mastery over screenplay is evident throughout the first half. Comparing the film with Dilwale Dulhania Le Jayenge in his review for India Today, Dinesh Raheja said Mohabbatein has too many diverse strands and in a bid to avoid getting knotted up in them, and considered the story is disappointingly pat and oversimplified. Bollywood Hungama said, Yash Raj Films P. Ltd.'s Mohabbatein is a film that portrays the battle between love and fear. It is a film that is based in a small North Indian town. A film that is set in one of the most prestigious educational institutions of the country, Gurukul. The autocratic disciplinarian Narayan Shankar, Amitabh Bachchan, governs Gurukul with an iron hand. He runs the institution keeping in mind its three pillars: tradition, honor, and discipline. Every year he reminds the fresh batch of students that the outside world is closed to them once they have decided to enroll in this prestigious institution. And he warns them that any flouting or bending of rules will not be tolerated. To this institution come three youngsters. Boys from different parts of the country, with different characteristics and different stories to tell. They enter this cold and strict atmosphere where only excellence is encouraged, where fun and frivolity is frowned upon, where laughing or sharing a joke is deemed unacceptable. It is here that Vicky, Uday Chopra, Seema, Jugal Hansraj, and Karan, Jimmy Shia Gill, form a kind of unbreakable bond. A bond that will require them to face the most difficult of tests and make choices that they never thought that they would have to make. Because it is here that these boys break the cardinal rule of Gurukul and Narayan Shankar, they fall in love. When Vicky, Seema, and Karan first meet Ishika, Shamita Shetty, Sanjana, Kim Sharma, and Kiran, Preeti Jangiani, respectively, their lives are placed in a turmoil as they would like to meet the girls, talk to the girls and dream about the girls, but the omnipotent figure of Narayan Shankar looms large. It is only with the arrival of Raj Aryan, Shah Rukh Khan, the maverick music teacher, who encourages the boys to follow their hearts and break open the gates of Gurukul, that the boys actually begin living a life that they earlier only dreamed of. Mohabbatein slowly becomes a story of the battle between what the two stellar men, Narayan Shankar and Raj Aryan, stand for. Two stubborn men who live their lives with completely opposing principles. One who stands for love and everything that the heart encompasses, and the other who stands for discipline and fear, and who believes that love only leads to pain and weakness. Mohabbatein is one of the most eagerly awaited films of all times. Produced by Yash Chopra, the film is the second release from the director of Dilwale Dulhania Le Jayenge. It brings together two superstars? Amitabh Bachchan and Shah Rukh Khan? Face to face for the first time. Obviously, you expect the moon in terms of entertainment. Mohabbatein meets the expectations, but disappoints in two major departments: the screenplay and the length of the film. But first, the plus points. The basic plot is refreshingly different from the Mills and Boons fares one is so used to witnessing in film after film. The conflict between Amitabh and Shah Rukh is another trump card of this enterprise. Moreover, the three love stories have been cleverly woven in the narration and heighten the conflict between Amitabh and Shah Rukh. Writer-director Aditya Chopra has handled the confrontation sequences between the two stars with aplomb. Not once do you feel that the writer in Chopra has tilted on any one side. The two stars have been given equal footage and importance, both get to deliver punch-packed dialogues, and both look the characters they portray. But there are a few loose ends in the screenplay, notable among them being the fact that Amitabh chooses to remain silent despite Shah Rukh's throwing a challenge at him. Despite being a strict disciplinarian, Amitabh bows down to every demand that Shah Rukh makes, although he maintains time and again that he is against any changes. Even the love stories of the three love pairs seem to have been stretched at times. After establishing the two principal characters, Aditya Chopra deviates from the main plot and goes to lengths to develop the three love stories, which didn't deserve as much footage as has been projected. But barring Uday Chopra-Shamita Shetty, the romantic track of the other two lovers does not generate any excitement. The Jugal Hansraj-Kim Sharma love story suffers due to the fact that it has been stretched unduly. Ditto for the romantic tale of Jimmy Shergill Preeti Jangiani, which also takes a long time to culminate. The film could have also done without a few characters, which add to the length of the film. The Amrish Puri Shefali track in Jimmy's love story and the comedy track involving Anupam Kher Archana appearancing. A few songs can also be deleted to make the narration crisper. Director Aditya Chopra is at his best when he is handling the two stars. The goings-on don't get overdramatic even once in those scenes. Even the transition of the love stories in the initial reels is captivating. But Aditya should have realized the importance of the length. What can be conveyed in 2.5 hours need not be stretched to 3 hours and 36 minutes. This kind of a length was just not required. Jatin Lalit's music is of a mixed variety. The film has a couple of numbers that stand out, notable among them being Humko Humis Chura Lo and Ankan Kuli Ho Ya Ho Band. The music piece, picturized on the three lovers, is excellent as well. Manmohan Singh's cinematography is brilliant. The exterior of Gurukul, shot in UK, gives the film a rich look. Dialogues, penned by Aditya Chopra, are poetic and touch the heart. It is very difficult to draw comparisons between the two principal performances. Amitabh Bachchan lends class to his role that required a performer of substance. He looks every bit the character he is required to portray. A strict disciplinarian. Cast in a role that goes well with his age, he is sure to be loved by one and all. Shah Rukh Khan is outstanding as Raj Aryan. The tension-filled scenes with Amitabh and then the light ones with the boys prove that he is an actor with an infinite range. The sequence in the climax, when he surrenders to Amitabh's wishes to safeguard the interests of the three boys, is applaud-worthy. Aishwarya Rai has nothing concrete to do, although she appears in bits and parts. Among the three love pairs, it is Uday Chopra who stands out with a winning performance. He is confident while facing the two giants and uses his physique to his advantage in other scenes. Jimmy Shergill is quite good, though his role is very much the stereotype. Jugal Hansraj is awkward, though he tries his best to make an impression. Among the three heroines, only Preeti Jangiani is adequate. Her Indian looks and the simplicity that the character demanded comes out in the film. Shamita Shetty lacks the looks of a heroine, while Kim Sharma tries hard to look convincing but fails. Amrish Puri is wasted in an insignificant role. So is Shefali. Anupam Kher and Archana appearancing are just about okay. On the whole, Mohabbatein has a towering cast and terrific initial as its trump cards, but its excessive length is its biggest drawback. The film needs to be trimmed by at least 25 minutes to make the pace faster. Keeping the Diwali period in mind, the film will see its investors happy. Mayavya said. Narayan Shankar is the principal of one of India's most prestigious boarding university, known as Gurukul. There, all students must remember three things: disciple, tradition, and responsibility, and for Narayan Shankar, love is not part of that, as he believes it to be a weakness which only ends in tears. This belief was the result of the death of his daughter Megha, Aishwarya Rai, who committed suicide after her father didn't allow her to continuing her love with one of his students who had broken Gurukul rules. Narayan Shankar dismissed the student without seeing him, and the pain which Megha went through caused her death. Believing that her death would make her father a softer man, it backfires, and Narayan Shankar belief in love as a human weakness grows stronger. With the new semester comes three young students, Vicky, Uday Chopra, Seema, Jugal Hansraj, and Karan, Jimmy Shergill, and their encounter with three women causes them to fall in love. But having heard the story of Narayan Shankar and his daughter, all haven't the power to face or fight against the strong regulations and beliefs of Narayan Shankar. But in their prayer comes an answer: Raj Aryan, Shah Rukh Khan, a new music teacher who only believes in one thing, love. How the two different ideologies of Narayan Shankar and of Raj Aryan clashes, against the backdrop of three love stories, forms the crux of the movie. The second anamorphic title from Yash Raj films, this DVD has taken me a while to examine, and the end result is somewhat mixed from my point of view. The DVD is presented in its original aspect ratio of 2.40:1, which presents us with the original vision of the director and cinematographer, which was seen on the big screen. The anamorphic process helps improves the picture quality for widescreen 16:9 television users, but not as much as I hoped for. The 35mm print negative source used appears to be in fair condition. I say fair as some blemishes like small white dots appear randomly during some moments of viewing. While not distracting, it seems odd that problems like this occurs on a recent film such as this. No other blemishes could be seen other than that. The DVD had light moments of pixelation due to the low average bitrate used. But this is once again related to the length of the film, which was, strangely, stored on one disc. For a film of that length, with the additional subtitles, I would have thought storing the film on two DVD discs, one for each half of the film, would have helped the bitrate increase further, which would mean better picture quality. Yash Raj could have done a similar DVD like Lawrence of Arabia by Columbia TriStar. That DVD was a two-disc set with the first half of the film with some supplements on disc 1, and the second half with some more supplements on the second disc. That way all features, including the film, fitted on two discs and picture quality would be much higher as the bitrate could be more increased. Even better would have been a DVD 18-disc for the film and a usual DVD 9-disc for the supplements. Film grain was non-apparent, but problems like moire effects and shimmering was noted at some moments on the DVD. However, they are not as bad as previous Yash Raj DVDs, which shows signs of improvement in authoring. But the one negative factor on this disc was the sharpness level, which was very low on this disc, and problems of softness affected viewing quite drastically as picture information was blurry and distorted many details. The color fidelity is presented at times with vibrancy and with bold details, but there are moments of weakness, with the odd red-brown hues appearing and affecting the overall color saturation. Examples can be seen in chapters 10, 13, and 16. The saturation hardly presented any color bleeding problems, but lack of definition is detected most notably during the chapter 30. I say this as the song in this chapter had some wonderful colors on the big screen which lacks on this disc. Because of the lack of definition on color, the same problem can be detected on the black details, which affects viewing slightly as the darker scenes in the film are harder to view. Thankful the contrast levels aren't as bad. Clearly the telescene transfer for this film was not done properly, which has affected many aspects of the framed image. While the visual aspect are somewhat lacking, the Dolby Digital 5.1 sound is simply groundbreaking. Without any sound problems, the soundtrack provides viewers with great 360-degree sound field moments, which doesn't shy away from all use of speakers and LFE channel action. The DVD sound transfer is even better than the cinematic recording heard on the big screen. Dialogues are clear and warm, and Amitabh Bachchan's powerful voice is well justified on this DVD, as heard in chapter 3 in his first dialogue scene. With lots of acoustics and orchestrated music tracks, the 5.1 sound also contribute to the overall effect, which is best described as an excellent solid mix. Also on this DVD comes a second disc which hosts much special features which are both interesting and informative, but at the same time not as spectacular as one hopes for, considering the amount of interesting things which could have been done to make this a really special disc. Still, from what Yash Raj has given to us, in the form of special features, this is perhaps one of the best to come onto the Indian DVD market. The following features are founded on this disc. The making of feature, 44 minutes. This is a decent feature which provides audiences a look behind the scenes on the making of the film, yet it felt more like an electronic press kit issued to sell the film for box office tickets. Interviews conduced are not as evolving as one would find in a proper making of documentary, like on the DIS Hum Saath Saath Hain DVD or even the Fox DVD of Cleopatra. Still, I did find this entertaining, as it showed some of the hard tasks the cast and crew had to go through in order for this film to be completed. This is presented in a good picture and sound quality in the form of a non-anamorphic picture ratio of 2.35:1 and 2ch stereo sound. Navigation is also made more easier with 6 additional chapter marks. Interviews with cast and crew. This is the weakest part of the DVD. The cast, Amitabh Bachchan, Aishwarya Rai, Shah Rukh, Khan and producer Yash Chopra is interviewed in 4 different segments. The interviewer, Kunal Kohli, who is directing the next Yash Raj film, is very vague and fails to ask the questions ordinary viewers would. Instead, he asks basic questions we already know the answer to from the making of feature, and doesn't become critical in his analysis, only what the cast and crew want to hear. Still, the interviews are once again entertaining, but not as informative as the making of feature. Also, why wasn't he the director interviewed? The non-anamorphic 1.85:1 widescreen picture is quite soft, and the mono sound is not as clear and at times is somewhat muddled, especially during the Yash Chopra interview. TV promos 9 minutes. With 10 wonderfully produced television promos to promote the film, soundtrack and dialogues, they are listed as the following. Teaser 1. Teaser 2. Humko Humis. Chalt Chalt. Ankhain Kuli Teaser, Aishwarya Rai, Humko Humis, Aishwarya Rai. Junior Mine Katini Hain Dialogues Promo -1 Dialogues Promo -2 all in excellent non-anamorphic 2.35:1 widescreen quality, and clear mono sound. Theatrical trailer, 3 minutes 20 seconds, a nice feature which was used to promote the film on cinemas. In an anamorphic 2.25:1 aspect ratio with stereo sound in overall visual and audio decent quality. Stills gallery. This is divided into 4 subcategories, and is a welcome feature which shows the amount of work going into the making and promoting of an Indian film. Posters, 1 minute. This showed what sort of promotional stills and lobby cards was used to promote the film. Movie stills, 3 minutes. This showed pictures taken while shooting was done. Working stills, 40 seconds. This showed pictures that was taken of production work. Portraits, 1 minute. This showed research in costume and background design on characters. Icons, 1 minute 30 seconds. This showed the iconography used for all aspects of promoting the film. Deleted scenes included on this DVD are 8 deleted scenes which also, for the first time on an Indian DVD disc, has an optional commentary by the director. This feature is the best available on this disc as the scenes are unique in their own right, and the commentary provides reasons why the director made his cut, which he is completely open about. The deleted scenes are listed as the following: Raj's first meeting with the boys, 1 minute 25 seconds. Vicky's disastrous date, 2 minutes 52 seconds. Raj talks about Mega, 1 minute 32 seconds. A rainy night, 52 seconds. Friends are important, for minutes 57 seconds. 2 stubborn men and an umbrella, 49 seconds. The boys give up, 1 minute 42 seconds. Chalt Chalt, female version, 3 minutes 2 seconds. All scenes are in good condition and are presented in a non-anamorphic 2.35:1 aspect ratio and in mono sound. Other additional extras founded on Disc 1 includes the wonderful and simple menu designs, which are thematic. Also the additional 5 subtitles, English, French, Spanish, Malaysian and Arabic, translate the film rather well. I like the sleeve design, the inclusion of 5 postcards designs and a useful bookmark in the form of a leaf with the cast and crew signature. All these tidbit supplements added more value to the overall product. Who can ever forget the wonderful romantic film Dilwale Dulhania Le Jayenge, 1995, directed by the then newcomer Aditya Chopra, son of the excellent Indian director Yash Chopra. The film was quite in contrast to the films from the Yash Raj library but had the same magic and quality. Also widely known as DDLJ. The film contributed to the rise of Indian films in the 1990s on the big screen, not just in India, but also with audiences around the world, particularly in UK and USA, and recently the film went down with tremendous success in Japan. Aditya Chopra's second film Mohabbatein, 2000, comes 5 years after his debut film, and also leaves an impressive mark with high box office records around the world, and many audiences loving this film so much that it gained much repeated viewing on the big screen. Many critics and some Indian film purists have compared this movie to DDLJ, which was a mistake as both films are totally different in tone, style and most importantly in plot. Mohabbatein achieves what many present films fail to achieve, entertaining all audiences with a love story-filled music, comedy, drama, and romance, in other words meeting with family audience expectations. The film also is rather clever and very ingenious when linking love with nature, incorporating into both dialogues, which is wonderfully written by Aditya Chopra, and into visuals, which is captured on wide canvas by Manmohan Singh. The semiologies of autumn leaves, of rain, of wind, and of mist displays the mythological sense of what romance is in Indian films. It was nice to view this as it hasn't been seen upon for some time since the rise of the glossy, glamorous, primary colored worlds in many present Hindi films to symbolize westernization, which is quite poor and inaccurately biased. But some scenes in this film also vaguely present moments like this and is rather off-putting. But they rarely cause a distraction, which is why it is more easy to forgive. The narrative structure is very linear, and very well handled considering the amount of plot details of not just the main characters battling their wits and beliefs, but to also incorporated three love story in the midst of it without diverting or boring us is in itself an achievement in filmmaking. But the three love stories aren't as interesting as one hopes for, as they play too simple within the conventions of Hindi cinema, making them unbelievable and predictable. Yet they were both amusing and interesting to view. The narrative is similar to Yash Chopra's classics Kabhi Kabhi, 1975, and Wak, 1969, which also dealt with multi-storylines all contrived into a main plot. Many audiences will take a shine to the love stories as it brings back the magic of Hindi cinema, with much escapism and romanticism. But for me, the magic of the film was in the performance of Amitabh Bachchan, whose monotonous dialogue delivery as the strict principal is simply amazing. The opening university speech shows the talent that the actor has wonderfully prescribed to his character. Not only does the scene establishes the character, but it also establishes the mood, tone, and what to expect from the rest of the film. The actor is perfect in every scene he is in, and still has the screen presence he did so during his reign at the box office in the 1970s, 1980s. This film ranks as one of his best performances since the underestimated films Surya Vansham, 2000, and Main Azad Hoon, 1989. Shah Rukh Khan also proved to be just as equally mesmerizing as the music teacher Raj Aryan. With subtle wit and dreamlike persona, his character contrasts well with the main character Narayan Shankar. To see the two bounce off their own individually persona is the highlight of this film, as it has many emotions, reactions from laughter to tears. Both these characters will be memorable in the many years to come, as will their touching dialogues. The supporting cast of Uday Chopra, younger son of Yash Chopra, Jugal Hansraj, Papa Keethi Hain, Gudgudi, and of Jimmy Shia Gill, Jahan Tum Lachalo, also doesn't go in vain, as each have their own individually identity, which makes their character more interesting than their love story. I did, however, feel some moments of weakness in the description of their female counterparts played by newcomers Shamita Shetty, younger sister of actor Shilpa Shetty, Kim Sharma, and Preeti Janjiani, Rajri's album Ye Hai Prem fame. I guess the director is not a woman's director, as the similar problems was detected in DDLJ. The characters seem more one-dimensional, as not a lot is learned from them. I guess the time factor was already limiting the director's vision, which is why they are more simplified, and not as elaborated as their male counterpart. Performances from all were decent enough, but nothing too special to write about, other than they do the job of entertaining us. The brief appearance of Aishwarya Rai is welcomed, as her character is both complex and more understood. The actor touches the screen with her unique performance. Also, the comedy plot between Anupam Kher and Archana Puran Singh is quite humorous and relieves the audience for a few minutes, before plunging us back to the main narrative. Technical values were very handed, but not as brilliant as I hoped for, as some inconsistencies in art direction and in editing were spotted which jarred senses. But these were not as often as detected in similar and current Hindi films. Music score and background score helped in the narrative of the film and will go down well not only with film audiences, but with soundtrack sales too. Other areas like costume designs, dance direction, audiography, lyrics and cinematography all shine in their own respected right. Overall, the film is both entertaining and interesting. It shows us great performances, wonderful moments of dialogues and of visuality, and never bores the audiences despite the long running tie of 3.5 hours. A welcome asset to the Yash Raj banner. While this DVD DVD is one of the best to come from the Yash Raj Home Entertainment label. When compared to other Indian DVDs in terms of the main feature picture quality, it fails to make its mark. Put this disc side to side with Angaran International Estina, 2001, or with DIS Humdil de Chuk Sanam, 1999, and you will see the clear difference in picture quality. Still, the DVD will please many fans, but not many DVD purists. P3 Entertainment said, Mohabbatein was directed by evergreen Aditya Chopra with some big names: Amitabh Bachchan, Aishwarya Rai, Shah Rukh Khan with some young talent. The character Sharma Narayan Sharma, Amitabh Bachchan, is a very strict principal at prestigious Gurukul from 25 years. He believes in complete discipline with no rules for fun and entertainment. Despite these strict rules, when 3 students of Gurukul suddenly falls in love with other 3 beautiful girls. Meanwhile, another character from the movie appointed as the new music teacher of Gurukul. Raj, a new music teacher, started a mission to spread love in Gurukul by helping 3 boys attain their true love, as Raj was in love with Megha, who was the daughter of Narayan Sharma, and she is dead. Knowing the fact that Raj was the same ex-student of Gurukul who was in love with his daughter, Narayan suspends those 3 students, but Raj stands up in the favor of those 3 and remind him about his daughter and how she committed suicide for her only love. Later on, Narayan realizes that he is wrong together with his no-romance decision, and then he resigns from principal post and appointed Raj as the new principal of Gurukul. The story is eye-catching and the plot is also conveniently executed, but at some point of time the movie slows down. The background music of this movie is marvelous and various songs are there that can urge you to shake your legs, and lost in the rhythm of love and happiness. The movie is good to watch, and if you are a die-hard fan of romantic drama, then this movie is for you. Hindustan Times said, actors Uday Chopra, Jugal Hansraj, Jimmy Sheargill, Kim Sharma, Shamita Shetty and Preeti Janjiani talk about their experience of being a part of Mohabbatein and what makes the film special even today, 2 decades later. Parampara, Pratisha, Anushasan, and the magic of first love. This is best to describe Aditya Chopra's directorial film, Mohabbatein. The film got what its title read, Mohabbatein, or Love. It's been 20 years to this classic, which saw 2 industry giants Amitabh Bachchan and Shah Rukh Khan come together, and that was enough to ensure a hit. Add to that the music, which is still remembered today, the feel-good college romance elements, and the 6 fresh faces: Uday Chopra, Jugal Hansraj, Jimmy Sheargill, Kim Sharma, Shamita Shetty and Preeti Janjiani. As the film's clocks 2 decades, we get these actors to take a trip down the memory lane and talk about their experience of working in the film and share how the perfect blend of tradition and modernity is the reason why it still remains etched in people's minds. It was a good blend of modern and tradition. On one hand, you had the whole strict Gurukul and Mr. Bachchan with his Shud Hindi and principles. Then there was the middle ground, so as to speak, in Shah Rukh Khan's character between the old and the new. In us, there was the fresh, wide-eyed youngsters, the first falling in love. Lot of people relate to it. The guys, we were all in the late 20s and were told to lose weight and get small haircut and sleep well and look fresh. I used to go jogging every day. It was the blend that still remembered. There was an Indianness and a Western global kind of feel that was the appeal of the film. Everywhere outside of India also, it was relatable. All 6 of us have good memories. It was a lot of hard work, but it was good enjoyment also. There was no competition between all the boys, and it was a great working experience. It doesn't happen like that anymore. The mood of this anniversary celebration would be grateful, given that in such times, we have certain amazing things to commemorate and feel happy about. But it really doesn't feel like 20 years have already gone since Mohabbatein released. It just gave me the much required start to my career. I was 18 and working on this film was like a proper learning experience under the mentorship of Aditya Chopra. We went through acting, diction, dancing workshops, and many more. The entire journey was a treasure, and there's no 1 or 2 things about it that I'd count as special. I found good friends in Jimmy and Preeti. You don't get to make such memories and such films often. It is a very surreal feeling. I was so raw at that time, but it was a beautiful experience. I loved the end product on the big screen. I made some beautiful friendships and am still in touch with most of them. Today, when I meet people, they have only good things to say. I was someone who always loved watching Yash Chopra's films, and it was a dream debut. I couldn't ask for anything better. I grew up watching his films, and I had to work hard to become my character. I had to put on weight. It is not as if I auditioned and immediately got the part. 20 years is a long time. I remember, right from the amount of rehearsals all 6 of us did, to the first scene. I remember it was with Mr. Bachchan, and before that was the scene with the 3 of us looking out of the window, I, Uday and Jugal. Then towards the evening was the shot of Uday being caught by Mr. Bachchan. We were there on set. The music was beautiful and the film became a rage when it had just come out. I went to Delhi theatres to see some shows, and the reaction inside was insane. The best thing is that people till date talk about the film, and comment on my social media that they want a second Mohabbatein. I was very new at that point. For me, I was not in a position to kind of comment on the trade of any film. But as a matter of fact, it was interesting to sit down and listen to Aditya and Yash Chopra, uncle, discuss what they feel. Initially, people were saying you should reduce the film's length. But Aditya was clear, I'm making a film and trying to tell a story, I don't want to cut anything. If it works, it works, if it doesn't, it doesn't. That people still enjoy watching the film, talk about it, hum the tunes, sing those songs is an overwhelming feeling altogether. I never auditioned for Mohabbatein. Aditya saw me in some of my music videos, and my dad and I went to meet him in his office. While we were still contemplating whether to take up the offer, our friends and relatives were like, you shouldn't miss working with Yash Chopra and of course Aditya. The film was a training ground for me. Barry John took acting workshops, I was given voice training and learned Kathak. For 8 months, Aditya hired a dance teacher who'd come to my house early morning to train, and Tarun Mansukhani, director, who was assisting in the film, would record my progress to show it to him. We all were young on the set and had fun. I remember Mr. Bachchan would come and sit with us and say, I'm young, I enjoy spending time with youngsters, not the oldies. Most days, Shah Rukh Khan and Aditya would play IQ games, and both were good. I think I remember each and everything about those 120 days we shot the film. Jamatha said, I am reviewing Mohabbatein, 2000, because it is the favorite movie of someone who loved me very much. I also liked the movie upon first watching and still love to watch it again. However, this movie provoked some very serious thoughts in my mind, and after assessing and analyzing the 3 hours and 36 minutes long stuff presented by Aditya Chopra, I came to the conclusion that the very concept of this romantic movie is a flawed one. Mohabbatein, Love Sagas, is the story of an educational institution bearing a name as pious as Gurukul, run by a strict disciplinarian and man of principles, Narayan Shankar. Amitabh Bachchan, whose daughter Megha, Aishwarya Rai, had committed suicide some years ago due to her father's NO to her love with a student of Gurukul, Raj Aryan Malhotra, Shah Rukh Khan, and thereafter his expulsion from Gurukul. Raj re-enters Gurukul as a music teacher and starts inspiring the male students, it is not a co-educational institution, to go for romance. He finds 3 such students, falling for their respective sweethearts, and through their activities, he takes on Narayan Shankar. In the end, Narayan Shankar realizes his error of opposing his deceased daughter's love, and brings Raj at the helm of affairs of Gurukul, relinquishing the charge himself. While discussing the pluses of the movie, clearly these are the melodious music of Jatin Lalit, lyrics written by Anand Bakshi, with the songs sung beautifully by Lata, Udit Narayan, Ishan, Manohar Shetty, Sonali Batadekar, Shweta Pandit, Udbhav, Preetha Mazumdar, Jaspinda Narula etc., and the towering performances delivered by Big B and SRK. In fact, the confrontation scenes of these 2 stalwarts are the USP of this movie and not the romance. Choreography is also worth praising, especially for the song Ipairon Mine Bandhan Hai. Cinematography is admirable, though the movie maker set the Indian Gurukul in England for his shooting. The movie carries a high production value as expected of a YRF movie. Minuses are too many. Love or romance can't be made alive on the screen just by flying palm leaves. The love stories of the 3 young pairs, Uday Chopra Samita Shetty, Jugal Hansraj Kim Sharma and Jimmy Shergill Preeti Janjiani, are not very impressive and look superficial. Even the Srk Aishwarya romance looks devoid of soul. The females seem to have no choice but to fall into the arms of the guys who are falling for them. The performances of the young pairs are not worthy of praise, barring the exception of Uday Chopra, whose zeal seems to be coming straight of his heart in his debut movie, made by his father and brother. Aishwarya looks beautiful, but her acting disappoints. Actors like Amrish Puri, Helen, Saurabh Shukla, and Shefali Chaya have been wasted. The movie is excessively long and should have been trimmed by dispensing with the characters of Anupam Kher and Archana Puran Singh and their unnecessary comedy track. Justice to the storyline chosen could have been done very smoothly in less than 3 hours. And there are numerous errors of storytelling and character building scattered in this movie. Now I come to my biggest objection on the movie, which is its boosting in discipline in educational institutions. The discipline, which is a must in any educational institution, established by Narayan Shankar, is time and again mocked by not only Raj, but also the director, terming it as an opposition to change. Will Mr. Aditya Chopra clarify whether he has studied in any such educational institution, or he has seen somewhere where romance takes the front seat and everything else takes the back seat? What do we mean by change when opposing the discipline which is mandatory for any school or college to flourish as an ideal educational institution? Should teenagers be taught how to love or romance instead of concentrating on their studies and extracurricular activities, besides respecting their teachers? And the school discipline? Under the pretext of bringing about a change, Raj is shown to spread willfulness and unruliness in the reputed educational institution. Is it acceptable? Love, or romance, cannot be an excuse for indiscipline or disrespect for the head of the institution as well as the rules and regulations prevailing there. By default, Aditya Chopra has depicted SRK as a villain who has entered the institution to settle his vendetta against Narayan Shankar, under the camouflage of spreading love. Further, neither committing suicide upon parents' disapproval of love, nor going your own way without any protest, when unjustifiably expelled from the school, only to come back after a few years to seek revenge from the head of the school, can be supported. This is cowardice, and such lovers cannot be called true lovers. And can love be forcefully aroused or developed? Definitely not. Love just happens, on its own, at any life stage of a human being, if it is destined to happen. In the movie, Raj pushes the students to go for loving, say romancing with, anybody of opposite sex. This is not love in the true sense, Mr. Aditya Chopra. Would you like to share with us whether your love for Rani Mukherjee had developed on its own or you had made some special efforts for its development? I recommend this movie for light entertainment in general and for die-hard AB and SRK fans in particular. But the question remains, when already our educational institutions are facing the brunt of indiscipline among the students, do we need more such movies? BuzzFeed said. Mohabbatein opens with a railway station scene, where 3 young men are on their way to Gurukul, a well-reputed college headed by hate activist and secret Dumbledore impressionist, Narayan Shankar, Amitabh Bachchan. I want to clarify that when I decided to summarize Mohabbatein, I had totally forgotten Uday Chopra was a part of this. I played it today and, my God. However, I had already made promises and now I must tolerate looking at Uday Chopra for 3.5 hours. This is for you, guys. Anyway. So after shamelessly overexposing his odorous underarms to his unsuspecting victims, Vicky, Uday Chopra, unfortunately, says hello to Karan, Jimmy Sheergill, and Seema, Jugal Hansraj. You can tell these guys loathe him at first sight, but nonetheless, they let him join them on their way to Gurukul. Dude does not STFU. Like, for the first 15 minutes at Gurukul, no one has said shit but this guy, about the beds, about the college, about himself. To him, everything is cool NA with a hard K. During the oath-taking ceremony, a speech by Principal Narayan Shankar makes the students realize that Gurukul has very, very strict rules and the most minor mistake can get you suspended. The boys settle in. Vicky is under the impression that he is Karan and Seema's friend, when, really, he's just an insufferable Neanderthal sharing a room with 2 intelligent beings. Thanks to his meddlesome nature, we find out about Seema's love interest. After Seema is done dealing with this dimwit, he proceeds to tell Karan who the girl in the photo is. Her name is Sanjana, Kim Sharma. We also meet Vicky's new love interest, Ishika, Shamita Shetty. She's from the nearby college and Vicky catches her stealing something from the Gurukul garden. This desperate mofo. He even has a nickname for her, Ishq, love, derived from Ishika. I have a nickname for him too, Idiki, Peen, derived from Vicky. After this, Seema bumps into his childhood bestie and love interest, Sanjana, in the market. I think she may be a fish because she sounds like a dolphin and has the calculating abilities of a sea creature. Our boy Karan also falls in love. He sees a girl at the train station in the middle of the night looking like Alok Nath just dropped her after Kanyadan. Upon doing some research, Karan finds out this girl's name is Kiran. That's all he knows. Clearly, these boys have no standards for love whatsoever. They will worship anything that is pretty and has a female anatomy. Being alive or dead is unimportant at this point. And having a personality? Screw that shit. So long as it has boobs, we're good. This girl looks like a ghost. Even if she's not one, she has sindoor in the parting of her hair, which obviously means she's married, but screw that and rub one dedicated to her tonight, Karan. You deserve it now that you have joined Gurukul. I'm sure that Narayan Bugger has all the fun websites blocked in the computer lab. It is now that Karan tells us of an infamous Gurukul legend. There was once a very good Gurukul student. Everyone thought he was going to be successful in life, but he made one mistake. He broke a Gurukul rule. He fell in love. Narayan Shankar didn't see him or meet him but expelled him, which does not make sense to me at all, by the way. And everyone knows that getting expelled from Gurukul means no other institution will take you. Nonsense again. The girl he loved committed suicide, royally dumb move again. And she was Narayan Shankar's only daughter. Shit. The next morning some dude enters Gurukul by bribing people with flowers. Yep. He begins playing his violin inside, which is just ridiculous behavior and can result in the breakage of one's as by the mighty hands of Narayan Shankar. So yeah, the first impression went shit. But then the interview actually happens. So the actual interview is also shit. Mr. Narayan is a total jerk and refuses to shake Raj Aryan's hand. But then again, this dude applied for the job of a music teacher when playing music is against Gurukul rules. There has never been a music teacher. However, owing to Raj Aryan's annoying bubbly personality, Narayan Shankar gives him one chance. He tells him that if he can collect enough students who would like to opt for his music class, the job is his. Hash brown Mr. Schneebly, it's time to get the students flowing in. Raj Aryan gets the job, despite being someone Narayan Shankar wouldn't normally hire. He is, in every way, the opposite of a disciplined, mannered, teacher material man. He is warned by the principal to never try to change anything at Gurukul, which is exactly what he aims to do. Little does everyone know that Raj Aryan is actually a terrible man who enjoys seeing students get punished and expelled after emotionally manipulating them. The very next day in his class, he makes the boys break the Gurukul gate. This man isn't here to teach music at all, but to get the boys' raging hormones to shoot out of the roof. By showing them dreams of getting some, he has distracted them conveniently from their education. Sex is all they think about now. Vicky blackmails Ishika into meeting him. Very gentlemanlike. Karan is faced with a shock upon going to see Kiran at the hospital she works at. This is like the 15th time dude has gone to her with the same injury. And she's not even a doctor, she's just chilling there because her dad owns the place. Hash real mature, this should not have come as a shock. If he wasn't busy looking at Kiran's lady lumps, he would have noticed she was dressed like a bride, with henna and sindoor on, at the station earlier. And Rose Day has a shit surprise for Seema too. While Seema privately whines to his friends about what just happened to him, a stalkerish Raj Aryan appears out of nowhere. He's been eavesdropping like the weird as he is. OMG shady much? One thing's for sure. This evil shit isn't here to teach music at all. He's crazy. He's making the lad cause a breakup just to get with a girl. Wow, very fucking ethical. He tells the boys that the girl he fell in love with is dead, but that hasn't stopped him from thinking about her all the time. In fact, he proceeds to dance with the ghost of his girlfriend. It is clear that this is the infamous student who fell in love with Narayan Shankar's daughter. Okay, it was obvious from the start. But jokes aside, dude has a mental condition. It's called schizophrenia. Folks at Gurukul need to do a background check on who they are hiring. But they didn't give enough of a shit to check where he went to college, Gurukul, so why would they give the most diminutive of fucks about his mental condition? So anyway, Holai arrives and Raj Aryan seeks permission from Narayan Shankar to let the students celebrate it. It appears Holai has never been celebrated at Gurukul and never will be. What a fucking brilliant example to set. Fuck tolerance for all religions and their festivals. He still doesn't allow celebrations to be held inside the campus, so students get out. This happens in a song so obviously everyone's girl shows up. Duh. Also, lots of sexual harassment happens at the hands of Vicky, who lifts Ishika up and prances around touching her inappropriately and making public remarks about her body. All of this goes unnoticed. Guess who else's girlfriend shows up? From the crypt. But she's obviously a figment of his imagination. Meanwhile, Karen has found out Kiran's story. Yes, she was married, but on the night of her wedding, her husband left for war. He never returned. She's only 19 and lives with her in-laws who insist she fulfill the responsibilities of a daughter-in-law and take care of the home because free slave FTW. Narayan Shankar is going out of town for a few days when Mr. Raj Aryan makes another request #annoying. He wants to hold a dance party for Gurukul students. He is granted permission, but this asshole is never satisfied, so he asks if he can bring girls. Do you think Raj Aryan obeyed the rules? While everyone's partying their pants off, guess who walks right in? If I could sum up in one picture how Mr. Narayan Shankar feels about Raj Aryan, it would be this. Raj promises that he will turn shit around up in this bitch. He won't let the students go through what he went through. Love will be everywhere. Which means there will be drugs involved also. Hashia. All that aside though, I have no idea what kind of employers lose the right to firing an employee in a contract. What kind of imbecile drafted this contract? Mr. Narayan, you should kill your HR guys. With this realization, Mr. Narayan has a flashback and we are taken to the past when his daughter Megha, Aishwarya Rai, was alive. They had a great father-daughter relationship after Narayan definitely killed the mother. Beta, nobody gives a rat's ass about you. Megha tells dad about being in love with a guy from Gurukul, our very own Raj Aryan, but before the hallucinatory drugs became a part of his life. Despite Megha's pleading, Narayan decides against this union, expelling poor Raj Aryan Malhotra from Gurukul at once. This puts Megha in deep depression and she makes the most practical move possible. She kills herself by falling off the balcony. Let's take a look at some less drastic steps that could have been taken. At least fucking talk to your dad a second time? Involve another family member, threaten to kill yourself, go on a hunger strike, run away with Raj, be alive, but nope. I wish this part of the story was convincing, but it's not. Narayan Shankar lets Raj Aryan stay so he can prove to him that rules are the shiznit and change is stupid. Raj is on his game and spreading love like an STD. He teaches Karen to play the piano, well enough to teach, in one day so that he can give classes to Kiran's nephew. That sounds completely realistic. Trust me, guys. It can happen. It took me only one day to learn how to play Pokemon Emerald on my Game Boy. Shit is trickier than the piano, everyone knows. He emotionally blackmails her into dancing for him and she does. Poor girl. As for Vicky the Turd, he's been chosen to dance with Ishika for a college competition. Who graciously let this happen? The same Narayan Shankar who pooped his pants with fury when he saw a dance party at his college. They are preparing for the performance. Even our innocent Widdlesamer is getting it on by being a white knight. Sanjana's boyfriend dunks her into the pool at a party, suddenly making her feel naked. That's funny because the dress wasn't see-through and the water didn't pull the already plunging neckline down any further. He covers her up with his white coat, but once they're out of the party and in the street, it's all chaddais and kabadis, my friend. Sexy dancing, feeling things up. Raj Aryan and Narayan Shankar continue to have conflicts in more ways than one. All three girls are in love with their boys. WTF happened in one night, you ask? This. Since the boys are now always out at night getting it on with the girls, they get warned by Narayan Shankar. Despite this stern warning, for which the very lenient love-dove Mr. Raj Aryan is responsible, there is still romance being discussed in class. On February 14th, Raj Aryan tells his story to the class. He tells them about his first ever love note to Megha, to which she replied, and their love blossomed thenceforth. Vicky clearly tells Ishika that he's in love with her. Seema has to give Sanjana a note because she is too thick to understand anything. Karan tells Kiran he loves her and she's like, hey ILY too, but when they are caught in the act by her father and sister-in-law, she totally flips. No worries though, since later Kiran's father-in-law adopts a fuckle attitude and lets her do whatever she wants to. So she shows up to the area Valentine's Day party. Yes, there is such a thing here. Everyone dresses up like they're getting married and then they dance us off to some bowly beats. You can tell by the subtitles that the drugs used in this festival were of a high potency. But wait a second. This is all happening outside of Gurukul and crossing those gates is forbidden. Oh shit. Narayan Shankar's going to whoop your ass. The three students have broken too many rules to be forgiven. But Narayan Shankar gives them one last chance. The answer to one question will determine whether they stay or go. Seema, Karan and Vicky are told to pack their bags and prepare Dairansu for tomorrow morning, where they will be humiliated and told to GTFO in an assembly. Narayan Shankar has proven that fear is more powerful than love. He hates change and he will forever hate it. Gurukul will forever remain the same. The old man realizes that love does conquer all. Playing by the rules is shit. Gurukul is now going to be headed by Raj Aryan, and so it's going to be fabulous. As a token of friendship, Raj Aryan shares a special imported hallucinatory drug with Narayan Shankar. Thanks to it, now both can see and chill with dead people. Friendship is magic. Rediff said. Was it the Diwali spirit? The fact that the exams had just ended? Or was it just that Aditya Chopra had managed a successful follow-through to his debut film, Dilwale Dulhania Le Jayenge? Mohabbatein, whatever the reason, the young Chopra seems to have a winner on his hands. Once again. Which should make everyone happy, especially the Chopras, the Johars, Amitabh Bachchan, Shah Rukh Khan and, of course, the black marketeers who are ensuring that the new year, for them, begins very prosperously indeed. The film does not veer from the tried and tested Chopra formula, dollops of romance showcased in delightful locations, attractive costumes, colorful sets and, of course, the mandatory elder as the roadblock in the path of true love. But then, in Chopra films, true love always triumphs. Which is what Mohabbatein is all about. Only, instead of one love story, Aditya goes in for four. Three of them are young, innocent couples, Uday Chopra, Shamita Shetty, Jugal Hansraj, Kim Sharma, Jimmy Shia Gill and Preeti Janjiani. The three boys have just glimpsed their respective lady loves when they run into their first roadblock. In the form of Narayan Shankar, Amitabh Bachchan, the principal of Gurukul, where the boys study. A man who disavows love just as much as he firmly believes in discipline and rules and regulations. Just as the boys, terrified of their stern principal, get ready to nip their budding romances, into their rescue, on his white steed, charges Raj Aryan, Shah Rukh Khan. Oops, got a little carried away there smile actually, he strolls in playing a violin. Though Raj joins Gurukul as music teacher, the lessons he plans to teach are somewhat different. And he has only one student in mind, the inflexible Narayan Shankar. Uday Chopra and just one chapter, The Power and Infallibility of Love. Shankar is unaware of the fact that Raj, at one time, used to be his student. Until he fell in love with Shankar's daughter Megha, a gorgeous-looking Aishwarya Rai, and, for his so-called temerity, is expelled from the institution. Now, he's back. With the belief that, if he melts Shankar's resistance to change, if he helps the six lovers to succeed, his love too will be vindicated. That, then, is the story. But, obviously, Amitabh Bachchan and Shah Rukh Khan. They are the two pillars on which this film is built, and each time they come face to face, there is this expectant hush. Amitabh, as the strong, stern, patriarchal figure, is obviously in his element. Each time he stops to stare at the irrepressible Shah Rukh, you actually feel glad it is not you before those piercing grey eyes. And there are those little nuances that constantly remind you what a great actor he is, as he puts to play every tool in his possession to bring alive his character. His exasperation with Raj always comes across through his body language first. His rigid posture and gimlet-like eyes reflect, even before he says a word, his anger when his students flout his rules. His confusion when Raj does something unexpected, like anointing him with a tilak on Holi. Shah Rukh Khan Shah Rukh is the perfect foil to Shankar as he brings to life his gentler character. More important, in each face-off, he is able to hold his own with the magnificent Bachchan. He resists the urge to ham and successfully manages to maintain Raj Aryan's comparatively subdued character. But if you want to know who is more popular with the audience, just listen to the CTs and thunderous applause as Shankar and Raj make their first appearances in the film. Amitabh Bachchan wins hands down. The locales are great, the clothes fabulous, the music non-intrusive. And there is the lovely Helen in a special dance number that will have you standing on your seats, whooping for more. The story. Lots of loose ends. You constantly get the feeling the most important ingredient, passion. Remember the reaction DDLJ or Kuch Kuch Hota Hai evoked? That was because the filmmaker's passion was reflected in the film, is sadly missing. In fact, the only passion in the film comes from the clash of its two big heroes, Amitabh Bachchan and Shah Rukh Khan. None of the characters, except for Narayan Shankar and Raj Aryan, are particularly well etched. And the credit for that could go as much to the two talented actors as the director. I can think of at least 3 characters, Shefali Chaya, Anupam Kher, and Archana Puran Singh, who are completely superfluous in the film. In fact, deleting their characters could easily reduce the length of this 3-hour, 35-minute extravaganza without detracting from it in any way. Jimmy Shergill, the 6 youngsters. They're fresh, enthusiastic, and seem to have worked hard at their roles. And they have their moments, particularly Jugal Hansraj and Kim Sharma. Unfortunately, they are also rather raw. Uday Chopra, in particular, who is carefully promoted in the film, at times at the expense of the other 2, fails miserably in his most important scene, a one-to-one with Amitabh Bachchan. And Jimmy Shergill seems to suffer from a severe Shah Rukh complex. The girls, of course, don't have much of a role. They are required to smile, dance and, in general, be pretty. None of the 6, except Shamita Shetty, to an extent, give the impression that they can carry a film on their shoulders. Amrish Puri is completely wasted in a 5-minute role that could have been handled by just about anyone. One could be forgiven for thinking that he was signed on only because of an emotional link to DDLJ. Takia hua ki age wo mere sath narin. You'll be forgiven if you think you've heard that line before. In fact, this entire scene where Shah Rukh recalls his lost love is eerily reminiscent of the DDLJ climax. Then, there is the scene where both Amitabh and Shah Rukh greet the morning sun, dressed in white. The scene, the mood takes you back to a certain morning, a certain field, certain actors, Shah Rukh Khan and Amrish Puri, and a certain film called DDLJ. Uday Chopra who goes, "Ish, I love her," after yet another taka with Shamita Shetty. Salman Khan in Hum Aap Hai Koon, anyone? Or even his declaration to her, "Main tum diwan ki tera Pierre Carter whom?" Remember DDLJ? What about Dosti Kaak Usul Hota Hai? Salman Khan? Bhagia Shri? Main Pierre Kiya? Even the background music is a tribute to DDLJ, Dil to Pagal Ha and Kuch Kuch Hota Hai. It's a mishmash all right. But it is also a successful, feel-good film. You'll enjoy yourself as you watch it. Never mind that you'll most probably forget it soon after you leave the darkened environs. And, hey, don't forget to take the hankies along. The Indian Express said. 17 Years of Mohabbatein, directed by Aditya Chopra, Mohabbatein released after his hugely successful Dilwale Dulhania Le Jayenj. The film boasted of starring Amitabh Bachchan and Shah Rukh Khan in lead roles and was also the debut film of 5 other actors. The film's music is still popular. Mohabbatein, the film directed by Aditya Chopra, completes 17 years today, and while the film is still remembered for its fabulous music and scenic locations, it generated a lot of buzz when it was released. The coming together of Amitabh Bachchan and Shah Rukh Khan for the first time on the silver screen was served as a treat for the audience, and they were more than happy to lap it up. Mohabbatein was also Aditya Chopra's second directorial venture. His first, Dilwale Dulhania Le Jayenge, was a massive success, and the same was expected out of this one as well. This morning Amitabh Bachchan got nostalgic about the film and shared on Twitter, 17 years of Mohabbatein. Time has indeed flown. 17 years on, there's still some bit of trivia that only die-hard fans of the film are aware of. 1. Karan Johar designed Amitabh Bachchan's costumes for the film. 2. Amitabh Bachchan's film career was revived after this film. He hardly had any film offers back then, and so he approached producer Yash Chopra for an opportunity. Yash Chopra then offered him the role of Narayan Shankar. 3. The exterior of Gurukul was shot at Longleat House in Wiltshire, England. 4. It is rumoured that Shah Rukh Khan said yes to the film even before he read the script. Prior to Mohabbatein, director Aditya Chopra and SRK had already worked in the successful Dilwale Dulhania Le Jayenge, 1995. 5. Aishwarya Rai's face was not revealed in the trailer of the film. 6. Shah Rukh Khan's character in the film is called Raj Aryan. Raj was his character's name in DDLJ, and Aryan is his son's name in real life. 7. The makers had initially planned to cast a female actor opposite Amitabh Bachchan and had approached Sridevi for the same. 8. 5 actors made their debut with this film. Jugal Hansraj made his debut as a lead actor in the 1994 film Aa Gail Lag Ja. 9. Jugal Hansraj injured his foot during the filming of the song Aankhain Kooli. He had to wear a cast for the rest of the filming. 10. The film ended up winning 4 Filmfare Awards during that year. The movie said, Gurukul University is known for its excellency. Her Dean Narayan Shankar, Amitabh Bachchan, has very strict rules though. You must commit to your studies with no distractions, especially love. When new students Karan, Jimmy Shia Gill, Seema, Jugal Hansraj, and Vikram Vicky Uday Chopra enter, they have dreams of great success in life. When out of the school for errands, they meet Kiran, Preeti Janjiani, Sanjana, Kim Sharma, and Ashika, Shamita Shetty, and start developing feelings for them. But Kiran tells the others of the story of the sad poet. Once a student in Gurukul, he fell in love with a girl. They got along very well, but she was Narayan's daughter, and when he heard about that, he fired the young man without even seeing him, and when fired from Gurukul, you can never find a place in another university. So they have no choice but get on with the studies. One day, a new professor comes, Raj Aryan Malhotra, Shah Rukh Khan. He wants to teach music, and at first Narayan refuses, but gives him his chance to teach music if he finds enough students. But Raj is not here to only bring back love in the students' hearts, he has some unfinished business with Gurukul. This is a romantic drama, but in the Bollywood way, there are lots of funny moments. The story is both the developing love stories of the new students, and the story of Raj, and also Cake, Anupam Kher in a very funny role. It's very impressive how they fit 4 love stories and an opposition of character in the same movie. Acting is astounding by SRK and Bachchan, and strong from the newcomers. The dance numbers and songs are so great too. Very recommended. Ediva said, there was a glorious period back in the late 90s and early 2000s when Yash Raj Films movies defined Bollywood for cinemagoers. They had the network to produce movies like Mohabbatein with extensive ensemble casts including Shah Rukh Khan, Amitabh Bachchan, sprinkled with Aishwarya Rai Bachchan, Uday Chopra, Shamita Shetty, Kim Sharma plus 33 others. While the film was released 23 years ago, rewatching it recently made me realize just how unaware and accepting we were as the audience. However, we're not here to discuss plot lines and script discrepancies. We're here to talk fashion. So, let's dive right into it. While Shamita and Kim were exceptionally modern with their cutout crop tops and matching bell-bottom pants, Preeti was handed all the traditional outfits, though ones that came with a side of sexy, stringy kurtas, pop-colored blouses, and other items of clothing that established her moral high ground in the film. Take a look at some of the stills from the movie and you'll get what we're talking about. A lot of character development happened through the clothing. Manish Malhotra was hired, riding high on the success of his 90s styling career, and his clothes literally made girls want to be Bollywood stars. There's even a sequence where all three ladies dance for their prospective partners, crush or whatever they were at that point. When a full dance sequence makes you crave for a separate YouTube video, you know it's serious. You need to see the workout clothes that Shamita wears in the film. She means business and she's not taking no for an answer. In that respect, Uday Chopra seems like he's been forced to watch a really hot woman dance in front of him. Even Aishwarya gets the traditional treatment in the film. Her outfits are exceptionally sanskari with chiffon sarees and kurta sets, but they always come with a side of sexy. Take her blue lehenga set that she's seen wearing in a song, for instance. It's basically a blouse with a sheer dupatta and a skirt. Classic but hot. For the 3,758 other songs, styling can be seen as an important aspect. In Aankh Hain Kuli, Shamita is seen wearing a metallic silver crop top while Kim dons a fitted micro mini and Preeti goes for a salwar kameez. In the Holai song, they're all showcasing their personalities through their outfits again. Think more crop tops and more salwars. Overall, I'd just like to say that we were really naive back then and probably saw all of these outfits as magical. TBH, back then in 2000, they probably even were. However, looking at it nearly 23 years later, it's 216 minutes of Y2K outfits we'd now think twice about. Be careful though, because the nostalgia's gonna hit you like a truck. Full Hyderabad said. The director took the catchline, "Some love stories live forever," rather too seriously. A 3.5-hour long saga of numerous love stories, ouch. There are enough stars in this movie to make 5 Bollywood biggies, enough songs to make 3 pop albums, enough real length to make 2 regular length movies, and just about enough center stuff to give you one whopper of a headache. This is a movie that should have been presented like The Godfather, in 3 different sequels. But in one single part it is too heavy, and justice is not done to quite a few of the characters. The audience, though, seems to be pretty satisfied with the delivery, and the clash of the big S and the big B is rather grand. The appearance of Aishwarya here and there throughout the movie is an added bonus. The 3 new pairs seen in the movie are okay, considering that for half of them this was a first. The story is more like a comic book, a boys' school by name Gurukul with an imposing-looking Narayan Shankar, the big B, as big as can be, at the helm, students who are too scared of the principal to fall in love, and 3 youngsters who just do it, but are too confused and don't know what to do. Then enter Raj Aryan, who else but Shah Rukh, with a violin and a message of love. He brings Holai, ballroom dances, and autumn leaves, bearing messages of love, into the morgue-like atmosphere of Gurukul. He happens to be a music teacher, and deals in miracles, too, what with him teaching a youngster to play the piano in a couple of days. He is a widower, but his wife Megha, Aishwarya as the loveliest ghost in the history of Bollywood, hangs around him, giving him the courage to battle the dictatorial reign of the spoilsport princey. The story meanders around with songs, and more songs. Finally, the 3 couples unite, Narayan Shankar modifies his views, and the way is paved for many more unions. Love wins. Mohabbatein is another movie from the stable of Yash Raj films with the standard identification marks, slick sets, feel-good factor and nice music, and Shah Rukh Khan. But this movie deviates in a number of ways, and that's why it may fail to get in the league of the others. The story is no great deal, but serves as a foil for the numerous characters. The songs were the typical feel-good types with good choreography, short dresses, and zany sets. And as for the cast, they are all talented people who should maybe be in slicker movies. Amitabh stands tall throughout, but his vault face in the finale is not very well justified. Shah Rukh is his usual hyperactive self, speaking the language of the eyes better than ever. His message of love, though, is too intense for comfort, and seems right out of a mushy M&B novel. Aishwarya looks gorgeous and makes the other three actresses pale in comparison. The three young couples are lovey-dovey, but the way in which they come together for every dance number is rather irritating. Be it a dance for Holi, a jig to celebrate Valentine's Day, or a mutual confession of love dance, all three couples have to be present for the dance, with Shah Rukh and Ash wafting around, looking very happy. Anupam Kher and Amrish Puri, two talented actors who happen to be in the movie, bet you didn't know that. Look as if they are part of the sets. Not just that, they seem to be continuing where they left in their last hits, KKHH and DDLJ respectively. Final word, if you are those sentimental types who believes that love is the be-all and end-all of everything, go with your guy or girl, cry buckets and enjoy yourself. But if you have a sensitive sinus, dislike mushy stories, detest cliches, in short, if you are prone to whopping headaches, keep away. Traying said. In 2000, the Bollywood romance drama movie Mohabbatein came out. Shah Rukh Khan, Amitabh Bachchan, and Aishwarya Rai Bachchan played the leading characters in the Aditya Chopra-directed movie. The film is renowned for its lovely plot, superb acting, and heartfelt music. The movie, which is set in a famous boarding school, is about how love overcomes all obstacles, including adamant opposition. Mohabbatein has established itself as a classic Bollywood film that is still adored by viewers all over the world thanks to its strong message, lovable characters, and intriguing plot. Mohabbatein is a tale of romance, music, and customs that is set in the illustrious all-boys boarding school Gurukul. Narayan Shankar, the principal of the school, is a rigorous enforcer of rules who passionately believes in tradition and discipline. Amitabh Bachchan. He prevents his students from engaging in any sort of romantic relationships because he thinks that love has no place in the classroom. Raj Aryan, a music instructor, shows up, and he infuses the school with new life. Shah Rukh Khan. Raj encourages his kids to follow their emotions because he believes in the strength of love. Megha, Aishwarya Rai Bachchan, the daughter of Narayan Shankar, who is engaged to another man, captures his heart. Megha's father objects to Raj and Raj's covert meetings, but they go on. Vicky, Seema, and Karan, three of Narayan Shankar's students, fell in love with three girls from a nearby girls' school at the same time. When Narayan Shankar learns of their connections, he kicks them out of the school. Raj and his pupils make the decision to defy Narayan Shankar's rigid guidelines and implore him to believe in the efficacy of love. Narayan Shankar eventually acknowledges his mistakes and accepts the power of love in the movie's climax. He invites the expelled students back and permits his daughter to wed the man she adores. The movie concludes with the inspiring message that love triumphs over all, despite stern opposition and conventional social mores. On October 27, 2000, Mohabbatein was published in India. The movie had a significant distribution, both domestically and internationally. It was promoted as a star-studded romantic musical drama with some of the biggest stars in Bollywood at the time. When the movie first came out, reviewers had mixed feelings about it. Some praised the performances and the music, while others criticized the predictable plot and melodrama. Nevertheless, it continued to be a commercial success, earning more than 100 crores globally. Additionally released on DVD and VHS, Mohabbatein was subsequently made accessible through streaming services like Netflix and Amazon Prime. The movie's music and dialogue have remained well liked over the years, maintaining the fame of. When Mohabbatein first came out, the evaluations were conflicting. Some reviewers thought the story was predictable and melodramatic, despite the fact that the movie received acclaim for its performances, music, and production values. The movie received a favorable review from film reviewer Taran Odorsh, who referred to it as a musical extravaganza that brings together romance, music, and tradition in a perfect blend. He praised the cast's efforts, especially those of Amitabh Bachchan and Shah Rukh Khan, as well as the music and cinematography of the movie. Despite receiving mixed reviews, the movie has gained popularity among Bollywood aficionados, and its music and dialogue are still well liked today. After Dil To Pagal Hai, 1997, was released, Aditya Chopra began to compose Mohabbatein because he wanted it to be about more than just love stories. The 1989 American coming-of-age thriller Dead Poets Society is said to have served as the movie's inspiration, according to the Encyclopedia of Hindi Cinema. Chopra then told his father, Yash Chopra, about Mohabbatein, and the latter was pleased. Yash Chopra also produced the movie through his company, Yash Raj Films. He added, "On the whole, Aditya has made an honest film, honest to God and honest to the audience who has given us so much, saying the movie honors Indian customs and values." The undertaking was disclosed on the Yash Raj Productions website in June 1999. Aishwarya Rai Bachchan, who plays Megha, was not visible in the movie's teaser before it hit theaters. Due to her lack of popularity at the time, many viewers mistakenly identified her as Kajol or Madhuri Dixit, two actors who had collaborated with Shah Rukh Khan under the Yash Raj banner. Amitabh Bachchan contacted Yash Chopra for work when he was out of work and was given a part in the film after no producers approached him. Ishika and Sanjana were presented to Karisma Kapoor and Kajol, but both of them turned them down. Without having read the script first, Shah Rukh Khan consented to star in the movie. The character of Sridevi, who was meant to play Amitabh Bachchan's love interest, was dropped from the movie. Shah Rukh Khan plays a character in the movie by the name of Raj Aryan. Aryan is the name of Shah Rukh Khan's child. Yash Chopra's favorite scene was when Shah Rukh broke down in tears and claimed that he was to blame for the removal of 3 boys from the Gurukul. The school's Gurukul stage was built in London, United Kingdom. Amitabh Bachchan donned attire designed by Karan Johar, a filmmaker. Aditya Chopra wrote a role that was paired with Amitabh Bachchan. Sridevi turned down the role, so he moved to Madhuri Dixit. Mohabbatein had a successful global box office run, earning over 316 crores. Amitabh Bachchan's depiction of the strict headmaster Narayan Shankar was praised, as was Shah Rukh Khan's portrayal of Raj Aryan. Jatin music lullets for the movie, which featured well-known tracks like Humko Humis Chura Lo and Aankhain Kuli, was also a huge hit. The film's theme of love and following one's heart struck a chord with viewers, especially in India, where it was a box office success. Overall, Mohabbatein was a hit movie that delighted viewers and conveyed an important lesson about love, life, and the value of following one's heart. Its popularity in Indian cinema was solidified by both its commercial and critical triumph. Now I am going to tell some public review about this movie. Taran Odorsh India FM said, "I genuinely feel that Vastav is Mahesh Manjrekar's most accomplished work to date. I am counting Hindi movies, not the Marathi films he made. He made scores of movies subsequently. I liked some, Astitva, Virud. I detested some. In my opinion, Manjrekar's creative skills were on a decline post-Vastav, though there was a ray of hope once in a while. His new film, City of Gold, is not Vastav, but it almost reaches there. City of Gold is as stark and real as a gash or an open wound. Of course, I am no one to comment on whether City of Gold is a true and complete representation of the mill workers' plight, but as a moviegoer, this film worked for me at several levels. City of Gold talks of a family in particular and has several layers, numerous characters, and various stories to tell. I was reminded of Vastav in a couple of sequences, Karan Patel's track specifically, but I am not complaining. In fact, I liked it. City of Gold has several watchable moments and also the grip, so essential for a film that's about to tell you a story that you aren't aware of. But there's a flip side too. The story seems stretched. Yet, when you weigh the pros and cons, I'd say, the positives overweigh the minuses in this case. This gold may not be 24 karat, but is 22 karat nonetheless. Today, there is hardly anyone who hasn't visited the swanky shopping malls, nightclubs, lounge bars, clubs, and other such lifestyle destinations that have sprung up across Mumbai. However, very few know that buried deep below lies the dark, dirty, and painful reality of thousands of mill workers, who once worked the cotton mills in this very same area. Rising and toiling to the wail of the mill sirens each and every day, 7 days a week, these workers embodied the true unbridled zeal and unflagging spirit of the city and played a pivotal role in the evolution of Mumbai as the modern-day business capital of India. And then, it suddenly was as if they never existed. Following the mill workers' strike in the mid-80s, these mills began closing down rapidly and the mill workers mysteriously disappeared. Let me warn you that City of Gold is not for the faint-hearted. The relationships, the violence, the language depicted in the film may shake you intermittently from your comfort zone. And it is these sequences, honestly, that are the mainstay of the enterprise. There's no denying that Mandrakar leaves an indelible impression in several sequences. The film is embellished with a superior cast, and each actor, irrespective of the length of the role, appears straight out of life. Seema Biswas, Siddharth Jodhav as Speed Breaker, Veena Jamkar as Manju, Shashank Shend as Anna, Sachin Kedekar, Vinay Opta, Ganesh Yadav, Satish Kaushik, Kashmira Shah, Seema Dharmadhikari and Vineet Singh as Mohan put their best foot forward. Each one is memorable in his/her role. But the showstopper is Karan Patel undoubtedly. It's a sensational performance, which will make people sit up and notice this supremely talented actor. On the whole, City of Gold is a heart-wrenching and violent journey that has the stamp of a gifted storyteller, Mahesh Mandrakar. Recommended. Ujjwal Somashekar said, "This movie is good movie about the love and discipline. Aishwarya and Shah Rukh are the best and Amitabh Bachchan is good as always. The story is good and the songs all are my favorite one. This is one of the evergreen romantic movie." Vivek Garai 2003 Gore said, "Mohabbatein is very nice film which is released in year 2000. This film is very good and in this film all actors are performed good. The main actors of this film are Amitabh Bachchan, Shah Rukh Khan and Aishwarya Rai. This film is made on love. In this film Amitabh Bachchan is the owner and teacher of the Gurukul. And the three boys are the students of the Gurukul and the three boys are fall in love with three beautiful girls. And Amitabh Bachchan is not go to their relationship and Shah Rukh Khan is help the three boys to match their love." Shubham Saxonaraj said, "Actually when I watched this movie first time in my life so I was really happy because this movie is based on love and educational life. And if say about its songs so all songs really impressive. Personally I like Chalt Chalt Karan Ruk Jata Hoom. And Mohabbatein theme song. Songs is really nice and I need to say about Shah Rukh Khan and Amitabh Bachchan both are played a more than great role in this movie and I appreciate it. When I watch this movie till now so I remember my old memories of my love. Truly impressive movie by me, seriously believe me. It's my personal review about this movie. The film Mohabbatein showed three boys' love story and specially showed a educational life like as Gurukul in this movie. The principal of Gurukul, which is Amitabh Bachchan. And Shah Rukh Khan is a student of the Gurukul named Raj. So Raj loves daughter of the principal of Gurukul. One daughter said to his father about his love. So he becomes very aggressive and angry and he decides that he take out Raj from Gurukul. For his love. So it is based love story you should watch. 76999 are said, "This film described the battle between love and fear. This film realized 2000, Bachchan and Shah Rukh Khan appeared on screen together first time. SRK loves Aishwarya and Aishwarya's father Bachchan. Director Aditya Chopra showed real love Alwaya Eternal. I like this movie, really this movie is heart-touching." Venusenia 555555 said, "It is one of the best movie of love directed by Aditya Chopra. Amitabh has important role in this film. Shahrukh and Aishwarya are two lover of this film, but Aishwarya's father is in against of this couple due to which Aishwarya die. After some time Shahrukh starts to learn love. This show that after breaking of love men change and look as a sick person." Zaishakan 424 said, "Hey today I'm gonna write regarding this most popular movie Mohabbatein. I've watched this movie more than 100 times. Speciality of these movie is SRK and second thing all the songs of these movie are awesome. Themes, acting, dialogues, everything is just perfect. But what I hate in this movie is Aishwarya deaths. They shouldn't have killed her in the story, they can even kept Aishwarya in critical condition. Otherwise it was lovely romantic love story. Love to watch all the time, songs are just awesome. Evergreen movie." Ranjit Babu 333 said, "Its movie is a very good love story movies. Director Yash Chopra and her team is create a very good love story movies. This movies is blockbuster movies on movies industry. It have many types emotion, impression, motion, love, sadness, place, dedication, improvement and believeness so that it is very good movie. I am 20 times seen the movie, I love this movie." Pankaj Kumar Singh said, "My favorite movie is Mohabbatein. Its movie is better than other movie. Mohabbatein movie is directed by one and only Aditya Chopra. Aditya Chopra's all movie that's great, just like lovable emotional. Mohabbatein movie's all songs are better songs than present time's song, and Shah Rukh Khan is awesome acting on this movie. Kushi44 said, Mohabbatein is the movie which anyone and everyone would love to watch again and again who believe in love, rather a person who is in love. It's great to see a person who lost his love still loves and feels his love and helps other getting their love. One of the best performance of King Khan, including all the newcomers. Music is beautiful too, which love to listen. Shirade said, one of the best Shah Rukh Khan movies, I must say. I am not a Shah Rukh fan, but this has to be one of his best performances. I am not a Hindi movie buff, and I prefer watching English rather than the soapy Hindi movies, but this 3-hour-plus epic has to be an exception. One of the prime reasons why I loved this movie is because the fictitious Gurukul is almost identical to my old school, Calcutta boys. When Big B says those words that Gurukul students hold top positions in all fields in the outside world, due to the strict discipline, I am forced to think back of Clifford Hicks, our principal in the late 60s. He became nominated to the parliament because of his fame as a stupendous disciplinarian. Back to the movie, Shah Rukh plays a music teacher, whose appointment is much to the displeasure of the principal of the school. Little does he know that he is the former lover of his daughter who committed suicide since she couldn't be with him. Her death drove her father to sheer rage that he drove her young lover, a student of his own school, and stopped his education altogether, by refusing him admission in all of the contemporary schools. Years later, driven by his own passion and fuel, the young man returns to his old school determined to undo the wrongs that caused him so much misery and suffering. He learns of 3 such youngsters who had fallen in love to 3 different girls. He encourages them and gives them ideas of winning the girls' favors. This infuriates the principal and he stops all of them and even threatens to throw them out, much like the fate of their music teacher. In the end, this teacher reveals his true identity in front of the man who could have been his father-in-law. Suffering from grief and sorrow, the principal breaks down and in the end love rules over discipline. One of the best family movies for a long time, with plenty of comedy and emotion. Arguably the best performances of King Khan and one of the best of Big B. Overall, it's a must-see for everyone. If you haven't seen it yet, I recommend you getting a DVD and watch it right now. Ravindraraj018 said, Mohabbatein movie is very good and very nice and very excellent, and Shah Rukh's act very good and very super acting. And also Amitabh sir acting is also very nice and very excellent, and all song of Mohabbatein movie is very good. And very nice and very excellent. This movie is very good, nice movie, thank you. So Rabkater said, as I was very young when this movie was launched, but as of now, I have watched it endless times, and this is again based on a love story of 3 boys and rules and rituals of Gurukul, which don't allow person to fall in love, and even the dean of the college lost his own daughter as she was in love with boy, and the boy was student of Gurukul, and that boy was removed from Gurukul or can be turned as rusticated. DK1831 said, it is a very nice movies. The role of Amitabh Aishwarya and Shah Rukh is very interesting, and the role of the other supporter is also very nice in this movies. The movie is fully on love in this movies. The small comedy is also included, and the song is Heart Thou Share nice lyric. The story is learn about the love in student and break the pride of Amitabh and Changi. The Gurukul rule. Shah Rukh role in movies is teacher as well as instrument owner. This is very really nice story for the younger person. Akashaj97 said, the movie Mohabbatein is very nice and cool movie. It is a pleasure to watch this movie. The movie is very nice love history. In the movie, Amitabh Bachchan and Shah Rukh Khan also play a very vital role. Not only that, Shah Rukh Khan sign INS as an instrument teacher. Moreover, Aishwarya Rai also plays a nice role. It is a very nice movie, I like it very much. Amazing love story, and very entertaining movie. Lakewinder 1983 said, Mohabbatein.is the story N movie, which is very close to my heart. This is the best movie of SRKNH. And second most FVRT movie after DDLJ. I love the music. I love the star cast. Direction, storyline. I did not like the Uday Chopra's acting in this movie. He did overacting as usual. Humko humis chura lo.is my FVRT song. And very close to heart. Whenever the songs plays it takes me to the dreamland. Wow is the word for this movie. Kanzaria Krupa said. Mohabbatein is a 2000 Indian musical romantic drama film directed by Aditya Chopra. It was Chopra's second directorial venture after Dilwale Dulhania Le Jayenge and was filmed at India and the United Kingdom. The film stars Shah Rukh Khan and Amitabh Bachchan in pivotal roles, along with 6 young debutantes. Aishwarya Rai appeared in flashbacks as Khan's lover. The film's soundtrack was composed by Jatin Lalit, while the lyrics were penned by Anand Bakshi. The film is notable for being the first time that Bachchan and Khan appeared on screen together. The film went on to do well both critically and commercially. Although only the second highest grosser of the year domestically, it became the highest grossing film of 2000 overseas and thus worldwide. It also won several awards including the Filmfare Critics Award for Best Actor and the Filmfare Award for Best Supporting Actor, for Khan and Bachchan respectively. Nithin Rising Cloud said, "This movie has nice love story between Raj Aryan, Shah Rukh Khan, and Megha, Aishwarya Rai Bachchan, but Nayang Shankar, who is father of Megha, doesn't accept their love and Megha commits suicide. But Raj still loves her. So Raj Aryan decides to change the Megha's father, who doesn't believe in love, comes to Gurukul and sped love in school." Mohabbatein is a movie in which big Bollywood actors acted like Shah Rukh Khan, Aishwarya Rai Bachchan, Amitabh Bachchan. Movie story: Mohabbatein is set in the school of Gurukul, where Narayan Shankar runs his school through fear. He teaches his students how to become great and successful men, bringing discipline into their lives. Raj Aryan believes in freedom of expression through music, and love being more powerful than Narayan Shankar's rule through fear. Music is great in this movie. I still listen to these songs. All songs are nice. Music is addictive. Through the lives of 3 young students, Raj Aryan tries to break Gurukul's traditions and bring love back to life. This movie has got some great dialogue exchange between Raj and Nayang Shankar. I recommend people in love must watch movie. Rakesh Bharti 007 said, "Director Aditya Chopra is at his best when he is handling the 2 stars. The goings-on don't get overdramatic even once in those scenes. Even the transition of the love stories in the initial reels is captivating. But Aditya should have realized the importance of the length. What can be conveyed in 2.5 hours need not be stretched to 3 hours and 36 minutes. This kind of a length was just not required." Jatin Lalit's music is of a mixed variety. The film has a couple of numbers that stand out, notable among them being Humko Humis Chura Lo and Ankan Kuli Ho Ya Ho Band. The music piece, picturized on the 3 lovers, is excellent as well. Manmohan Singh's cinematography is brilliant. The exterior of Gurukul, shot in UK, gives the film a rich look. Dialogues, penned by Aditya Chopra, are poetic and touch the heart. Mukesh 7373 said, "Oh my god, what a movie! There nothing I can complain. The emotion, the song's impact of characters, whether the principal of Gurukul, or Raj Aryan the lover, or the person who teaches love and believe in love. The direction, the way, the beautiful story, told with heart-touching dialogues. All times favorite songs. My favorite, Soni Soni Ankyan Wali." As I my topic named the looks of Shah Rukh Khan, the entry of Shah Rukh with violin with a kid, dialogue delivery by both Amitabh and Shah Rukh, the way Shah Rukh used to come with a doll 3 love story are also loving. Enjoyed watching and keep watching whenever I got a chance to. Tonu 141196 said, "Mohabbatein Yash Raj Films, directed by Aditya Chopra, is one of the most loving and romantic drama film. I love to watch this movie every time it comes on television. It is an everlasting movie, and forever will keep the love everywhere in the surrounding. The casting and plotting both are done by Aditya Chopra itself. It was the Chopra's second directorial venture after Dilwale Dulhania Le Jayenge. This was filmed or shoot totally at India and at United Kingdom. Bachchans and Khans appeared together first time on the screen. The movie overall is commendable and became the blockbuster movie. It has won millions of people's heart. It has also won many awards. Sit back, enjoy and watch this movie with family members. MIT 201210 said. Director Aditya Chopra is at his best when he is handling the two stars. The goings-on don't get overdramatic even once in those scenes. Even the transition of the love stories in the initial reels is captivating. But Aditya should have realized the importance of the length. What can be conveyed in 2.5 hours need not be stretched to 3 hours and 36 minutes. This kind of a length was just not required. Jatin Lalit's music is of a mixed variety. The film has a couple of numbers that stand out, notable among them being Humko Hu Mischura Lo and Ankan Kuli Ho Ya Ho Band. The music piece, picturized on the three lovers, is excellent as well. Manmohan Singh's cinematography is brilliant. The exterior of Gurukul, shot in UK, gives the film a rich look. Dialogues, penned by Aditya Chopra, are poetic and touch the heart. K777 said, Mohabbatein, the love which is everywhere in air, made this movie a super hit. I watched this movie because first of all Shah Rukh Khan, King of Khan, was there and Amitabh Bachchan. The most talented actors playing this movie wanna going be a blockbuster. The songs was really awesome and fantastic. The story was really good and clean, and it shows the discipline and music power in the field of education. It tells about the strict rules and power of love. This movie is one of my favorite one and very heart-touching also. As I am totally the big supporter of love, I usually love this movie a lot. Shibalaki said, if I get a chance to prove, I will definitely use the feel and sense which I have learned from this movie to my real story of love. Everything I will tell about this story is love, 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 love and love. Believe the strength and truth of love. I wish I should get a heroine in my life who should be loving me as much I will love her, and the main thing is the feelings and understanding like all the partners in this movie had. Love starts from anywhere at any time with the help of anything. Just a simple example is the leaf in this film. Jamatha said, I am reviewing Mohabbatein because it is the favorite movie of someone who loved me very much. I also liked the movie upon first watching and still love to watch it again. However, this movie provoked some very serious thoughts in my mind, and after assessing and analyzing the 3 hours and 36 minutes long stuff presented by Aditya Chopra, I came to the conclusion that the very concept of this romantic movie is a flawed one. Mohabbatein is the story of an educational institution bearing a name as pious as Gurukul, run by a strict disciplinarian and man of principles, Narayan Shankar. Amitabh Bachchan, whose daughter Megha, Aishwarya Rai, had committed suicide some years ago due to her father's NO to her love with a student of Gurukul, Raj Aryan Malhotra, Shah Rukh Khan, and thereafter his expulsion from Gurukul. Raj re-enters Gurukul as a music teacher and starts inspiring the male students, it is not a co-educational institution, to go for romance. He finds 3 such students, falling for their respective sweethearts, and through their activities, he takes on Narayan Shankar. In the end, Narayan Shankar realizes his error of opposing his deceased daughter's love, and brings Raj at the helm of affairs of Gurukul, relinquishing the charge himself. While discussing the pluses of the movie, clearly these are the melodious music of Jatin Lalit, lyrics written by Anand Bakshi, with the songs sung beautifully by Lata, Udit Narayan, Ishan, Manohar Shetty, Sonali Batadekar, Shweta Pandit, Udbhav, Preetha Mazumdar, Jaspinder Narula etc., and the towering performances delivered by Big B and SRK. In fact, the confrontation scenes of these two stalwarts are the USP of this movie and not the romance. Choreography is also worth praising, especially for the song, Pyron Mine Bandhan Hai. Cinematography is admirable, though the movie maker set the Indian Gurukul in England for his shooting. The movie carries a high production value as expected of a YRF movie. Minuses are too many. Love or romance can't be made alive on the screen just by flying palm leaves. The love stories of the 3 young pairs, Uday Chopra Samita Shetty, Jugal Hansraj Kim Sharma and Jimmy Shergill Preeti Janjiani, are not very impressive and look superficial. Even the SRK Aishwarya romance looks devoid of soul. The females seem to have no choice but to fall in the arms of the guys who are falling for them. The performances of the young pairs are not worthy of praise, barring the exception of Uday Chopra, whose zeal seems to be coming straight of his heart in his debut movie, made by his father and brother. Aishwarya looks beautiful, but her acting disappoints. Actors like Amrish Puri, Helen, Saurabh Shukla, and Shefali Chaya have been wasted. The movie is excessively long and should have been trimmed by dispensing with the characters of Anupam Kher and Archana Puran Singh and their unnecessary comedy track. Justice to the storyline chosen could have been done very smoothly in less than 3 hours. And there are numerous errors of storytelling and character building scattered in this movie. Now I come to my biggest objection on this movie, which is its boosting in discipline in educational institutions. The discipline, which is a must in any educational institution, established by Narayan Shankar, is time and again mocked by not only Raj, but also the director, terming it as an opposition to change. Will Mr. Aditya Chopra clarify whether he has studied in any such educational institution, or he has seen somewhere where romance takes the front seat and everything else takes the back seat? What do we mean by change when opposing the discipline which is mandatory for any school or college to flourish as an ideal educational institution? Should teenagers be taught how to love or romance instead of concentrating on their studies and extracurricular activities, besides respecting their teachers and the school discipline? Under the pretext of bringing about a change, Raj is shown to spread willfulness and unruliness in the reputed educational institution. Is it acceptable? Love or romance cannot be an excuse for indiscipline or disrespect for the head of the institution as well as the rules and regulations prevailing there. By default, Aditya Chopra has depicted SRK as a villain who has entered the institution to settle his vendetta against Narayan Shankar, under the camouflage of spreading love. Further, neither committing suicide upon parents' disapproval of love, nor going your own way without any protest, when unjustifiably expelled from the school, only to come back after a few years to seek revenge from the head of the school, can be supported. This is cowardice, and such lovers cannot be called true lovers. And can love be forcefully aroused or developed? Definitely not. Love just happens, on its own, at any life stage of a human being, if it is destined to happen. In the movie, Raj pushes the students to go for loving, say romancing with, anybody of opposite sex. This is not love in the true sense, Mr. Aditya Chopra. Would you like to share with us whether your love for Rani Mukherjee had developed on its own or you had made some special efforts for its development? I recommend this movie for light entertainment in general and for die-hard AB and SRK fans in particular. But the question remains, when already our educational institutions are facing the brunt of indiscipline among the students, do we need more such movies? Sandeep Mehta _1 said, "There was a man who did not believe in love. There was a man who believed in love. And then there were some love stories. And there was a man who put all of these things together beautifully." Yes, I am talking about Aditya Chopra, who made one of the most beautiful love stories of all time, which will force tears to roll down from your eyes. For me, Mohabbatein is not simply a movie, it is a feeling which captures your heart without making any sort of noise. For some people the movie was annoying because it simply tells people to love without fear, without caring about the world, and even without caring about Narayan Shankar, who runs one of the most prominent institutions of the nation and wants his students only to concentrate on their career. Now please don't think that I am telling the students to have lesson from the movie and fall in love without being concerned about the future. But don't you agree that love is a real beautiful feeling, and someone should feel unlucky if he or she is isolated with it? Mohabbatein is a movie which tells that love is a beautiful feeling, which lives with the soul of lovers and not the body. Raj Aryan was in real love with Megha because he was in love with his soul engaged. That is why their love story was alive even after one of them was no more. Which shows that it doesn't need physical aspect to be in love, emotions are enough for that. What if you are in love with someone and he or she doesn't do so? You still have the right to be in love, and my friend, no one can stop you in doing so, not even some sort of Narayan Shankar. So go on and express your love, and don't be afraid of denial or anything else. Just get your soul engaged in that and you will find yourself in the heaven of love and only love. A place where no one will stop you to be in love with your desired one. A place where will be no boundaries of caste, creed, status, and even life and death. Only one thing will be ruling that place, which will be an aromatic wind of love, which will be blowing, with a call to fall in love. Menon 1 said, "Which is the greater of the two? Emotions? Fear or love?" One way of getting an answer is to spend 3 hours and 40 minutes watching Yash Chopra's Mohabbatein directed by Aditya Chopra. The first couple of hours is lost just establishing the characters, a bit too many, one would think. You have the strict disciplinarian principle of Gurukul, Narayan Shankar, Amitabh Bachchan, who has never heard of something called a smile. Then you have 3 young boys, Vicky, Yash Chopra's son, Uday, Seema, Jugal Hansraj, and Karan, Jimmy Shia Gill, who are most often busy pursuing girls rather than studies. The skimpily clad girls include the spoiled brat Ishika, Shilpa Shetty's sibling Shamita, Sanjana, Kim Sharma, and the war widow Kiran, Preeti Janjiani. Then of course you have the violin teacher Raj Aryan, Shah Rukh Khan, who is an antithesis of the principle, especially when it comes to rules and regulations and a smile. Narayan Shankar believes love leads to pain, and therefore weakness, and he hates weakness, a warped sense of logic. Raj thinks love will conquer all. He fell in love with Shankar's daughter, Megha, but dad said no, and Megha said goodbye, and jumped to her death. So Raj is in Gurukul to teach Shankar a lesson or two about love. His weapons? The 3 boys and their love affairs. To begin with, the film is too long. Also, the confrontations between Shankar and Raj are always interrupted by the love stories of the teeny boppers. And as is the case most often, logic takes a backseat. Anupam Kher and Archana Puran Singh are supposed to provide some humor, but all they manage to do is make you squirm and hold your forehead in pain. But the only redeeming factor is the restrained performance by Amitabh Bachchan, and as for Shah Rukh, he hams big time as usual. Even the music was not up to the mark, only the 2 songs Humko Humis and Ankan Kuli were good. All in all, a disappointment. From the man who made Dilwale Dulhania Le Jayenge. Fog_and_wind said. Piers Indaji Ki Terra Hota Hain. Raj Aryan, Mohabbatein. There was a time when Yash Raj films used to be synonymous with seriously romantic cinema. I should say that Mohabbatein is not one of Yash Raj's finest. It is regressive at best, and the message it seems to give the youth of today is: Step 1. The only goal in one's life is to find someone and fall in love with them. Step 2. Make that person also reciprocate your feelings by hook or by crook, or by the usage of dry maple leaves lying all over the city where you both live. You can write love notes on the dry leaves, instead of wasting paper, thus conserving trees and nature. Step 3. Now it is time to examine your parents' values and mentality. That is evaluating what they would say if you told them that your ambition in life is fulfilled and you are ready for marriage. Step 4. This is divided into 4A and 4B. Step 4A. If your parents are against love marriages, and in general you think would oppose your choice in life, jump down from the terrace of your house and die, thus becoming immortal as a true lover who has the Jadui Shakti to make special appearances as a ghost throughout the life of your lover, especially during festivals and dances, who is still alive. Step 4B. If your lover's parents are against love marriages, and in general your lover thinks that they would oppose your lover's choice in life, mope all over and mourn your, now, dead lover, and let some years pass. After that, dress in business casual clothes, don't forget to delicately drape a sweater over your quivering shoulders, and go to the place of work of your lover's parents while carrying an old rusty violin with you. Now become the music teacher, or any other job that is available at the current moment within the organization that your lover's father runs, and begin the noble service of making other youngsters in your classes follow your ambitious path in life. Go back to step 1 and read on. Now I'm expecting some protest from Yash Raj and SRK fans. Let me tell you that I enjoyed a lot of Yash Raj's movies, and Silsila is among my favorites. Let me also emphasize that I'm not an SRK hater at all. In fact, I loved his earlier films like Kabhi Hon and think that he is capable of good acting even now, although I have not yet watched Chakda India but heard some great things about the movie. I would not have had any complaints about how this movie progressed if only it was merely an entertainer. What irked me was the fact that the movie delivers a sort of twisted message about love. As far as I know, love is something that happens and is not to be forced. So, lecturing impressionable high school boys about love and the importance of it in one's life seems far from ideal, but this is what the protagonist seems to be doing in the movie. Then, he selects 3 boys, the eternally A-boy Jugal Hansraj, the never A-boy always an Uday Chopra, and the 2 morose looking to be A-boy Jimmy Sheargill in his music class, in quotes because I haven't seen the students in the class ever playing a musical instrument. All they did was watch as their asterisk Masterji was playing his instrument of choice, the rusty violin from step 4B above, with stars in their eyes. Now these 3 are brainwashed about Zindagi, Peer, Dosti like universal terms by the asterisk Masterji, asterisk whom they immensely admire, for no apparent reason. Now it's the turn of these 3 boys to select 3 different girls, an arrogant Shamita Shetty, Awadode Preeti Janjiani and an I am undernourished so brain and vocal cords did not fully develop asterisk Kim Sharma. You see, everyone has to fall in love to have led a complete life, so the earlier in life you get started the better. After all the 3 pairs have sung and danced in various numbers, it is opposition time from the parent of lover from step 4A, though he has been opposing from the beginning and forgot to take action. It is also time for revenge against the lover's father for the love that you lost because you and your lover did not have the guts to stand up for your own love. Several clashes, dramatic moments and tears later, all is fine and ends well and everyone is happy. You have now officially accomplished all that you were born on this earth to accomplish. Seriously speaking, what kind of a regressive thinking methodology is this? If one truly loves someone, one takes a stand against those who oppose their love for no reason except that of tradition. The message, there was no need for one, if you ask me, the film conveys is very inconsistent. On the one hand, this film portrayed that even death is better than going against your parents. On the other hand, you can go against school principals and other lawful authorities for your so-called love. This is one movie that completely maldefined love. Doesn't being in love with someone mean that you stand by that person in all times and all situations? Do you consider someone who'd rather commit suicide than stand by you in times of trouble to be truly in love with you? I wouldn't. There is such implausibility in important scenes and there are so many contradictions in this film that I cannot go into them, and stay within the word limit. To sum it up, a very forgettable movie except for some great songs. Stars Shah Rukh Khan and Aishwarya Rai as the main lovers. Amitabh Bachchan plays the somewhat Hitlerish school principal, also father of Aishwarya Rai. I recommend that you do not watch this movie. Avirup_2007 said. Wow. This is what I had to say about director Aditya Chopra's Mohabbatein, after watching it for the first time way back in the year 2000 when it released. I must have watched it close to 25 to 30 times till now on TV, watched it on the silver screen thrice, Virzara 6 times, and the list goes on. You can well make out how big a SRK fan I am. Anyway, I will not be biased towards him and his performances in my reviews. I don't need to be biased because most often, he is always good. Aditya Chopra's second directorial venture may not have been half as successful as his first one, DDLJ, but I personally feel Mohabbatein was a far more romantic movie, hence, also a better one. However, some people found it lengthy and boring. But a movie like Mohabbatein has to be long. If not, the very essence of the movie is somehow lost. Let's talk about the performances first. You get 2 brilliant performances here. One by SRK, who is fabulous as Raj Aryan Malhotra, and the other by the Big B, who is very interesting to watch as Narayan Shankar. The movie clearly belongs to them, their breathtaking performances and their presence in the movie makes it worth $1 million. It is now known that Big B had asked Yash Chopra to give him a role in a movie then because he was out of job, and was incurring heavy losses as his production company wasn't doing well. Good decision, Mr. Bachchan. This is truly one of his best performances. To say that Mohabbatein had SRK in one of his best performances would be an understatement. He was too good, especially in the Jahar Se Main Dek Raha Hu scene. The 3 love stories were fresh in look. Uday, Shamita, Jimmy, Preeti, Jugal and Kim were all good. Aishwarya, in her cameo, was competent. Amrish Puri, Anupam Kher and Archana Puran Singh were all wasted. The Anupam Archana episode could be done without. Extremely irritating. Shefali Chaya in a brief role as Preeti's Barbie was good to watch. The direction was first-rate. So was the music by Jatin Lalit. A special mention for the Ankan Kuli song, which is one of my favorites. Home 2005 said, "Unlike other Yash Raj film, this film seems so boring to me because there's a lot unimportant scenes and dialogues. Longleat in England was used for the setting of Gurukul. What a fake. No implicatura used at all, the director just told me 1, 2, 3, and 4. Making is like writing, if you say 1, 2, 3, and 4. It means I am so stupid. I could not think. I cannot any critical comment at all for this movie, cause the director think for me already. The use of violine performer was just okay. Only one possible good things to say is that I like Jugal Hansraj as Seima so much, and the time that the film was taken, he was still very young. He is also the only reason that I bought this VCD to watch. SRK was like in other movie, using her own personality to amuse people. But it took quite a long time for him to appear on the scene. Aishwarya Rai, too, appears in the late part of the movie. The authorities of the school principal is not strong enough, and I think Amitabh looked so funny in this movie. The conflict presented in the movie was not intense at all. The director of the movie should not prejudge that the school's traditions are bad. Admission to school is the matter of choices. No one die if they try to love after graduate. How many people could keep the relationship as a girlfriend and boyfriend since they were in college until the graduate? Do they struggle together to prove their love? No, not at all. Personally, I don't like when they put 4 couples into one movie. I just want to concentrate on one love story. I think the director should have cut the introductory part of the movie to make the story more concise so that viewer can get what is the main plot. I am not sure that what the director want to say about this movie. But I can say sometimes for myself that, if you keep boys together for quite a long time, and do not let them see girls, there's tendency to make them homosexual even though your colonial laws are very strict. It's strange that people who already have right to vote have to bear these conventional rules in the university. Raghav 25 said, "To say that Mohabbatein has been Aditya Chopra's second film following Dilwale Dulhania Le Jayenge, DDLJ, which was easily the best mainstream Hindi film, had much hype and expectation surrounding it. The big question was, would the film live up to it? The answer sadly is, no, not quite. An inconsistent screenplay, thin characterizations, plot implausibilities, and lack of depth and substance mar an otherwise luscious-looking film with strong lead performances by Amitabh Bachchan and Shah Rukh Khan. Narayan Shankar, Bachchan, runs a Gurukul, the finest all-boys education center in the country with an iron hand. He is a strict believer of tradition and opposes any sort of change. 3 students Vicky, Uday, Chopra, Seima, Jugal Hansraj, and Karan, Jimmy Shia Gill, who have joined Gurukul, become best friends and roommates. Vicky falls for a rich Miss Ishika, Shamita Shetty, in the neighboring girls' school. Seima meets up again with his childhood buddy Sanjana, Kim Sharma, but she already has a boyfriend, and Karan, Jimmy Shia Gill, falls in love with Kiran, Preeti Janjiani, a married woman whose husband has been missing in war for 2 years. Enters our hero Raj Aryan, Shah Rukh, a music teacher who with his unorthodox ways encourages the boys to go after their loves. Expectedly, there is a clash in views with Narayan Shankar, a man who has never believed in love. Raj's concern with making sure that the boys' love stories blossom stems from his own love story in his student days at Gurukul with Megha, Aishwarya Rai, Narayan Shankar's daughter, which ended tragically with her killing herself due to Narayan Shankar's stern opposition of the romance. The clash between the two men and Narayan Shankar's final realization that he was wrong is what the film is all about. Much of the problems in the film lie with Narayan Shankar's character. The conflict between Amitabh Bachchan and Shah Rukh Khan had great dramatic potential, and while there are several clashes between the two, none really rise to any high levels. Amitabh, who keeps spouting the dialogue about how much he abhors change, seems to agree readily with Shah Rukh's requests much too easily. And for a man who at the beginning of the film had said that if anyone is caught breaking the rules of Gurukul even once, he would be expelled, He tells Shah Rukh he knows the boys have been breaking the rules regularly and going out to meet the girls, yet does nothing about it. Why? Bachchan stresses in his opening speech how students for Gurukul are specially selected from all over the country. So how is it he never saw Shah Rukh as a student? And more so when he expels him. Surely he would have interviewed each student personally before selecting him. When Bachchan speaks about Gurukul being the best education center in the country and producing many eminent successful people, surely you want to know what is it in the method of education that makes Gurukul unique. But apart from one shot in the montage, not a single scene takes place in the classroom in the entire 3.5 hours of the film. Further, when Bachchan finally admits defeat in the end, he mentions that ex-students from Gurukul had a bit of himself in them, and now he hopes that the present students would have a bit of Raj Aryan in them. This takes away from the very fact that he was proud to be a part of the success of his ex-students from Gurukul thanks to his education policies. And what about those ex-students now and their achievements? Does this suddenly make them losers then? Perhaps Shah Rukh's character of Raj Aryan would have been far greater had we actually seen his romance with Aishwarya and then felt his loss. And nothing in Shah Rukh's actions actually justifies his dialogue at the end of the film to Amitabh that he came back to Gurukul for him, to join him in getting over his grief for his daughter. He just seems to be a teacher with freewheeling beliefs, and the clashes between him and Amitabh are purely on those points which go on to be more confrontational when he reveals his identity as Aishwarya's lover. The three love stories not only take away from the central conflict, but unfortunately, unlike DDLJ where the process of falling in love was so beautifully handled, none really developed satisfactorily. Also among the three boys, really only Uday Chopra's character is different and cool, while Jugal and Jimmy are almost similar. Perhaps having too many characters and too many stories to tell takes its toll. Also, like most Hindi films, women are not really allowed to have a mind of their own. Kim's boyfriend has been made a twit, so it is easy for her to jump into Jugal's arms. I hope even I get a chance like Jugal. But what if he was a really nice guy? And even if Jugal loved her, couldn't she actually love someone else, especially as she hasn't seen Jugal in the last 6 years in the all-important ages of 14 to 20? Preeti 2 goes to Jimmy when Amrish Puri, her father-in-law, finally relents. And even the biggest strength of Yashraj films, its music, while hummable, is nowhere near the high standard set by DDLJ and Dil to Pagal Hai. This not to say that Mohabbatein is a bad film. It is still better than most films made in the country, but an Aditya Chopra film carries expectations of a far more quality and flawless product, and Mohabbatein unfortunately does disappoint on that count. White Devil said, "There's nothing common to love and fear. Both of them are completely different powers. Love thrives on abdication, fear thrives on accumulation. Love is symbolized by sacrifice, fear is symbolized by hoarding. Love relinquishes with a benign smile, fear occupies with a ferocious savagery. What then would be the result when love encounters fear?" Mohabbatein, the Aditya Chopra movie, attempts to put this eternal battle in perspective and largely succeeds in the attempt, due to exemplary performances by its lead actors, an inspired story, and imaginative direction. The movie manages to make a statement while still remaining completely commercial in format and execution, something largely forgotten by Hindi directors since the late 70s. Amitabh Bachchan as the strict disciplinarian patriarch of the most disciplined and career-focused school of India, Gurukul, is just perfect. This film can be considered to be the real comeback vehicle for the thespian after a series of humiliating duds. As Narayan Shankar, this man is just excellent. Whether it is his long meaningful silences at his opponent's stupid attempts at provocation, or deep disappointment at losing his daughter, conveyed only through his eyes, or his cold but firm resolve to prove the scalability of his views in today's environment, again conveyed through his eyes, the man is virtually unstoppable. As the face of power that breeds fear and terror in the hearts of all who dare to cross paths with him, Amitabh is an epitome of how a performance has to be planned and executed. He has 2 monologues in the movie, each heightening a different mood, and each manages to hold its own despite a lot of other events in the background. Shah Rukh Khan as Raj Aryan portrays his role with a responsibility equal to his stature. This is one of the few roles which required him to dip deep into his arsenal of acting tools, and to all relief, he does not disappoint. As Raj, Shah Rukh exudes the right amount of charm and charisma, and in every scene he looks the adorable and lovable man out to prove the power of love. On the other hand, he is equally proficient in his confrontation scenes with Amitabh and stands out due to his passion and intensity in every frame. He displays a rare eclectic mix of vulnerability and mental toughness in a role that would fail, had any component been topsy-turvy. There were initial doubts over his casting, aspersions were cast on his choice, but with this powerhouse of a performance, Shah Rukh acquits himself and proves that talent may be captive to market sentiments, but it can never be reduced to zilch. After a very long time, we are witness to a confrontation scene worth its weight in gold, and it's to the credit of the two actors that neither of the confrontations fall flat on the face. Neither tries to overshadow the other, and hence the cinegoer is blessed with one of the best confrontations in recent times. Although Amitabh and Shah Rukh have performed together in other films, no other film comes close to matching their chemistry in this movie. In fact, the movie loses its frizzle once the two legends are out of screen. The romantic tracks between Uday Chopra, Ishmita Shetty, Jugal Hansraj, Kim Sharma and Jimmy Shea Gill, Preeti Janjiani is well executed, however falls short of being able to sustain interest on its own. Preeti and Shamita among the actresses impress with their spontaneity, while between the second lead actors, all the actors are quite competent. Special mention must be made, however, of Jimmy, who manages to stand out in a well-etched role. Uday has the best lines and scenes, but he fails to rise above the script. Aishwarya Rai in a cameo role is wasted, since her role fails to establish the agony of a woman torn between her father and her love. However, to her credit, the feeling of a girl hopelessly in love is well documented. Amrish Puri, Shefali Chaya, and Anupam Kher all do complete justice to their roles, especially Amrish, who manages to hold our attention with his appraisal of a father coming to terms with a son's death. Jatin and Lalit try hard to infuse life into the tracks, perhaps a little too hard. Missing is the innocence of their earlier movies, neither do they manage to compose any tracks that may be considered as simply classic. The music is not bad, just that you expect Jatin and Lalit to always rise to the occasion and give something more than the mundane. It does manage to keep your attention, and special credit is due to Anand Bakshi for his simple but beautiful songs. The haunting, highly emotional background score manages to linger on in your memory, as does the signature tune of the movie. The cinematography, editing and script are all brilliant. Choreography manages to stay true to the tradition of a Yash Chopra film, especially Shamita dance sequence, which is well executed. Direction by Aditya is an absolute delight. With this movie, Aditya proves to his detractors that he is not a one-film wonder, but someone here to stay. His sense of casting and shot-taking is next to none, and I personally feel that he can be a person to observe closely over time. Whether he will live up to his promise, only time will tell, but currently he proves himself to be a worthy son to a noble tradition, and his tryst with a non-mainstream concept is worth applause. But as I said, he has a long way to go before he can be considered among the pathbreakers. A story that speaks volumes about the power of love, but also accepts the power of fear. Watch it for the clash of titans, figuratively as well as realistically. It will leave you spellbound. Swaminarayan said, "Me film dekni gaya uska naam tha Mohabbatein, cinema me film ko dek mine gain laga. Hum ko yaha sachudvalo, kohi hita hum ko bacharalo, hum akal ro na jaya. Baja fryyyy ho na jaya, ajaro pagal kana lija." Film Karab Thai, Sharak P, Lekin Beach Mine Product Advertisements Kamal Ki Thai. Va Kia Advertisement Thai, Sharak the Specs Deki Mooj Pata Chalaku, I should have gone to Specsavers. Or X60 Sal Kabude Kitara Carpre Paina to Age Kal Style Hota High Sharak Kitara. Lekin such much Sharak Ki dialogues Kabad, Mi Pir Ka Juana Bangia, Mooj Pierre Se Pierre Hagaya, Mine Jan Gaya Kaprem Kia She's High. Bitch Mine Film Main, Sharak Teen Gadho Ko Advice De Raha Tha, Jau Tamari Lakshki Tarif, Jisa Tum Pir Kart Ho, Vohai Tumhara Laksha High, Vaha Gate Ki Tarif Tumhara Pir Kora High, Jawas Ki Tarif. Mooj Lag Raha Tha Kasharak Mooj Ke Raha High, such Mooj Lad Ki I Popcorn Kasath Mir Ro My Surf. Fasit Ki Juria. Min Uski Tarif Deka, Meradil Dadka, Kuch Home Lager, Peli Nozo Mine Mooj. Pir Ho Gaya, Sharak Eni Kaha Jawab Lakshya Ki Tarif, mine yuta taya hagaya, Shahrukh. Tum hair bitch jo diwar hias tuada. Hum harry bitch for seat thigh, lekin rasta mushkil tha, do moat log me a bitch me beat the, mine roan loga. Emmy sad smiley crying, yena mumkin Shahrukh, mine nahi kar sakta Shahrukh, to tttt to fur tu peer kulayak nahi, peer use keet, jiskili insane sari had par kar sak tar, na mumkin ko mumkin karta high, agar tama sasha peer kart ho to jow uski or. Mine yutha, eye of the tiger music, Midora, Mota Yuta, Rasta Rock Leah, Moat, Tum Cinema Kuyusul Nahi to Asokte, Hum Tummy Kamiab Nahi Hone Don Jemi, Haramzamzad Ekbart Khan Kol Kar Sunlo, Shahrukh Eni Kaha Hein Muj Tho Mine Apni Premika Kupar Jaraha Hu, Shapi Muj Apni Chardiki Supply Rockni Ho, Muj Koi Nahi Rock Sakta. Ya. Junki Larei Hui, Usni Muj Kuchul Dala, Moti Pi Ai Chapal Kusa. Meena Himmat Nahi Hari, Mean Shahrukh Ko Pukara. Emmy, Abe Shahrukh, Mary Madad Kar. Shahrukh, a PKKKK hi dicta narin, mine Mary dead girlfriend ki or Mary Dukbari prem lila ki katha suna raha hu. Shahrukh any Madad Nahi ki, lekin mir peer any muj or himmat di. Mean motki popcorn leli or kaha. Emmy, Kabar da, Agar Chumis Kohi Hyla, to mine ye popcorn kajunga moat, Tamisa Nahi Kar Sate. Nahi Kar Sate Bagwan Kili is said choa do, Emmy mwahahahaha, AB mine is Nahi Charuga, he. Mean popcorn pate di, vo popcorn kapikche bar, mine apni lakchia ki tarif gaya, vaha pocha. Meena kaha Shahrukh AB mine kia karu, Shahrukh, apn pier ka is ha kar. Mean pier ka is ha kia, usni meri tarif deka, mean uski tarif, ankomi anki dali, freeze frame, music. Kuch hota hain, Shahrukh, apna of badaro, mean of badaya, usni apna half badaya, mean papa raka, lekin usni ek patriarch de kar apna half mirgal par lagaya, Shahrukh ki tora ron lagar, or kaha. Emmy, shahrukh tu kitna geisha idea deta hai yeah. Shahrukh, eri hi up a par kiu with raka, breasts par kiu nahi raka, mud shakuch seek na. Ha film mine romantic role hai kar tahu, muj pata hi kkkk sa chalta hain. Astin se muje pata chala kupir kia che eyes hoti hain, sab ko duana kar ti hain, lekin ek papa segal ko lal kar deti hain. Astin kubad mean karbi pir nahi kia. Back to real life where I finished telling this sad story to my students in Horny Boys Institution. Emmy started playing violin, pir karbi mat kana, vo isi che eyes hi joham pagal kardegi, Shahrukh ki acting kitara. Jo thapad mean kahi hi vio kultumi na lagje, isli pir mat kana dosto lekin horny zuru rina, ye meri zindaji ka usul hai. Student, lekin sa mudsha bot bari galti ho gaya. Muja pir ha gaya. Me, kaya. Student, sir, mine kia karu as peli bar deka to pir ha gaya, jis tara apko hua muj pi hua. Aski dek kameradil dadak any laga, kuch hona laga, muj pir hagaya sir. Ha pir. Me, naif frin. Ye narin hasakta, crying, kiu kia kiu. Music, karbi kushi karbi gam, principal, Mr. Lova lova mwahahahaha. Tu shart ha gaya, mijit gaya. Mere institution mine mere ladko ko nafrat kana sika raha tha or chupka as free gay porn dera ha tha. Tu shart ha gaya, mean kaha tha na pir hai sab kuch hota hai. Mwahahaha. Nickel mere 10 rupee. Me, nahi ayin. Student, lekin sir, technically shart me at kaha tha kushart aap tab jeet jange jab hummies koi pir karaga ladki se, lekin mine ladka se pir karta hu. Principal, nahi ayin. Mere school mine chichara. Emmy, kisse pir kart hotum. Student, sir arts. Dum dum, principal, nahi ayin. Principal has heart attack and dies. I walked up to him, we were face to face, some idiot playing violin in the background. Student, I love you sir. I was going to do something I never thought I would do. Then came a familiar sound patrak. Student, Sir Thapa Kiu? Emmy, Kaha Thana, Pirmat Kana. The NP.SI sent this story to Yash Chopra, it's been approved, he's making a film on it right now. He said it can be a good sequel to Mohabbatein, in fact even much better than Mohabbatein. Woo! So watch out, Nafratin, coming to cinemas near you. Starring me, Popcorn Girl, Mota and Moti, horny principal, gay student. Plus a special appearance from Shah Rukh Khan as a transsexual. Warning, the film may be unsuitable for straight people, as there is frequent exposure to gay-on-gay action, SRK involved in those scenes. Juggernaut said. Now to the darkest corner I march, armed with memories of thus far, 'tis my fear I may return not but not slightest that I forgotten die. For I am but one half of the fuller me, the rest in my lover I have left. Mohabbatein is yet another movie with a message to deliver. It is probably a disease among our movie makers that drives them to believe their movies ought to have more meaning than mere entertainers. In their own shabby way, they create a movie full of brutal torture and violence of a landlord's henchmen and morbid shows of their disrespect for women as their message against inequitable distribution of land, ending up with nothing but a tasteless piece of anger, violence, and rape. Or, then, they come up with a movie full of incoherent nudity in an attempt to give a voice to those women who have no other way of earning apart from trading their bodies, only to land up with a slightly mild version of pornography. Few movies have spoken their message out, and if they have, they haven't been subtle. Maybe the future has something in it. That's all we hang on to, isn't it? The review. Having had no choice but to watch this movie, because it was put up on the bus video, I did not have a favorable frame of mind before I began. To cap that, the movie ended up to be something that I find exasperating, repulsive, slushy and frankly atrocious. For furthering my 3-hour rendezvous with hell, I was thrown into the co-passengership of a funny female, not much older to me, who offered me paper napkins regularly during scenes that didn't suit her lacrimal glands. The story. To look at it from the point of view of a bored fellow in search of some entertainment is to search for an apple on a pine. Yes, the shabby humor of the last sentence was intentionally constructed as an example for the shabbiness of the plot. To look at it as a critic looking for a hidden social or philosophical message, however, could yield interesting results. A large part of the movie, most of it actually, tries to explain the true meaning of love and its vital role in life. It wants to say something really important, but can't find too many words. Prima facie, it attempts at commenting on our orthodox norms that discourage young boys and girls from getting emotionally involved with each other. The movie wants to show that the contempt the society has for children to fall in love with each other is not justified and unfair. It may be an idea a large people don't agree with, but it is an idea of the so-called New Age. An idea which is more or less a consequence of almost blind imitation of foreign behavior, and therefore, so far so good. However, the movie employs dangerous methods to put the message forward. The movie shows a young schoolgirl in love with one of her father's students who, having found her father adamantly refusing to accept their bond, commits suicide to infuse some warmth and love in the old man's otherwise dead heart. With its noble intentions of glorifying the power and agelessness of love understood well, I still say the story spells out a completely different message with that rather avoidable detail of the story. I prefer not to draw a conclusion myself here. Instead, I would leave the conclusion making to the reader with this question. Does the movie mean that the parental refusal to a child's affair be answered with suicide? Does it mean a child, who finds his or her parents against his desires, should rebel? Does the movie justify suicide? I simply believe that love has little to do with such things as a parent would oppose. Love is not an attraction or an obsession towards a person, for, then, hatred becomes just another manifestation of it. Love is more about understanding each other, standing strong support to each other during trials and tribulations, seeking solace in one's own troubles in each other, and responsibly preventing each other from being unwise. What is wrong with that? No parent thinks that is wrong, but what puts them off, and justifiably so, is the outward, physical manifestation of it and the obsessive mania that infects their wards. There is a time for everything, and a responsible individual must remind himself of that. A matured young lad or lass is therefore advised to toe the line drawn by the parental authority. Cast performance. Amitabh Bachchan, as the strong-willed and stubborn father, was probably the only single standing pillar of this otherwise derelict stage. They say true talent cannot be hidden, and Bachchan shows how true that is. To say he was a class act may give his performance more credit than it deserves, but he very close to deserving that description. Playing the role of a fellow who has little heard and can stopper his emotions. Perfectly well in his mind, Bachchan was given a role that was delicate and he did a very good job of it, I dare say. Shah Rukh Khan was an unfortunate disappointment. To strike a probably controversial note, I believe he does not have it in him to play roles of a tragic hero. He is far better as a celebrated fellow who enjoys a good life, like in Main Hoon Na, than he is as a tragic soul. It takes skill and art to play such a role, a talent which the king most unfortunately is short of. At least, in this movie, Mr. Khan was quite ashamed to his reputation. Aishwarya Rai, often also read as manipulative shrew, was given little time on the screen and a role that demanded little talent and skill. With her almost fairy tale-like appearance, Miss Rai was watchable for more than one reason. I cannot say more. Jimmy Sheargill, Uday Chopra, and Jugal Hansraj offered a fitting performance to their reputation, making their characters seem inconsequential bums, acting only as filling agents to make sure the movie stretches beyond half an hour. Mediocre actors as they are to begin with, I did not expect much from them. So, their performance comes to be rated as satisfactory? On a mere technicality. The verdict. With a story that I couldn't make out, an idea that seemed to collide with things I am appalled by, and with acting that can be called it, the movie could have made me lose my mind. Add to the fact that the female beside me was sobbing and laughing during the movie as though it was her own creation. But that unfortunate plight was saved only, singularly, by the music which was, at its best, pleasant. I can give it no further rating. This is a movie of no great pretensions. Take my word for this, skip it, watch something else. Maybe News at 9 is more interesting than this. Question marks. Would you justify a rebel? Would you side with the boy or girl who is out against his or her parents simply because they don't want the affair to proceed? Would you, as a parent, think the movie has something good to say? Tanmoy Chak said, "Well, I am not Mr. Raj Aryan, no, not at all, I am scared of this man, but he bored all of us a lot with his definition of love. 3 hours and some more minutes he fought with a bearded man on this topic, and then he made 3 people, and 3 of whom looked real old to study in a boys' school, forcefully fall in love. And the last scene of the films, a school gate opens only for a Bhangra pop group to dance in the campus. Can I go back to school? But then, he loved a ghost. And if we do away with the stories, and all those things, he went on defining love, dancing with love, dancing for love, and all. But then, I am scared of this man, he came with a violin and a drum, and did not even had a bow and arrow, and then, he did not have wings, what is love then? Don't know nothing about it, let me try and see, if at all I know, or understand, and I have no concept or philosophy, and I don't try and define abstracts, then still let me see, then let's play a song first, okay, not a song, most of you have watched Kal Ho Na Ho, so then let's play that small part of the song, Kuch to Hua Hai, where there are no lyrics but then, just HMMMMMMM, hee, Kuch to Hua Hai, now then the ambience have been made, love is yellow flowers. Not really, love is buying yellow flowers, amazing, it is to buy just 3. Yellow flowers wrapped in a small polythene, with some ferns, and okay, I find it better than red roses. Somehow, love is walking backwards, yes of course in age, but then, also while talking, walking backwards in excitement, so that you can look at love all the times, talk and walk backwards, love is like, style walking, no in fact foolish walking, with hands moving much faster than the body, head swaying too, unnecessarily. So what all the other people on the road are looking at you, anyway you are in love, means you have lost the screws that keep your head intact, so not to worry. Love is chocolates, lollipops and ice creams too, don't know how I managed to buy so many chocolates and then donate them also. Funny, love is also about having ice cream on your nose tip, and laughing about it, singing aloud is also love. And mind you without caring how good you sound, and singing not only on the bathroom, but anywhere, everywhere, on the phone, on the office desk, in the market, in front your boss, that is love, sometimes even dancing unnecessarily also, is love. Without any reason, it is like love is the reason perhaps, funny I know, But then love is buying, yeah, buying lot of things, for all, not only for her, but all, myself too, songs, clothes, music, house, for everyone. It is like smelling good always. Say smelling lovely flowers, inside the room, ignoring the smell of my landlord's socks. Love is laughing and crying at the same time. Always, it is dreaming with eyes wide open, traveling to distant land, blue ocean, ice-topping mountains. Dark moonlit deserts, but cold, very cold. It is like loving everything that nature offers, bright sun, moon, trees, even bushes. It is shivering. Love is like everything that a grown-up kid does. It is like dreaming a house, where kids are playing in the garden, they are being naughty, playing soccer, cricket, getting hurt, and also lot of great things, around you. Sometimes it is even a space, on the outer space. Love is being bold as well as getting scared, jumping always, with a pumping heart. It is missing, always, a sense of missing, as if you have someone to love you, yet you are lonely. Love is also praying, going to temples for the first time together. It is about sitting on the stairs alone too, and saying things in your mind and sometimes, loudly. It is about ringing the bell continuously. Love perhaps is not hugging in the public, or dancing. Love is a lot more than that. It is like bringing yourself close and preserving each and moment. It is smiling at each other, and feeling as if one is hugging. Love is sitting inside the closed doors and getting embarrassed and scared at the same time. So many things by God, but then, how can one define? I cannot, just don't have philosophies and concepts from my side, because I am after all a kid. But Mr. Aryan, it is certainly not wooing a dogged school principal and organizing a permanent discotheque for Bhangra, inside the campus. So, Mr. Aryan, can love be loving a ghost? Don't know, but love is weird, and it makes you even play Holy, with ghosts. Holy, look again, I got another aspect. Love is riots of colors, even on a whitewashed wall. Love is closing your eyes, and tickling you cheeks, and then, saying it without any fear and going on saying it. Love you, please love me. I will never go away, I will never go away, like others perhaps, won't treat you as a marketed commodity called human being. Please, I would never go away. Love is saying good, bad things because all seem to be good. It is pampering to the extreme. Hey, Mr. Aryan, are you retiring soon? Anyway, I am scared of you very much, but agree it is music, lot of music. Kuch ho gaya hai. Honestly, even I don't mind, Mr. Aryan, but then. Otherwise I would not have started. Confident 21 said. Mohabbatein was entertaining, but the romance was extremely artificial. The only characters worth watching, to laugh at of course, were the 6 newcomers. To begin with, this will be interesting to critique. Here is a brief profile of the kiddies. Uday Chopra looks like a total rat. Lizard, yes, literally, he does not have the face of an actor at all. Is lucky his Chopra's son, even his brother Aditya looks better than him, and Aditya is just a simple, ordinary, 4-eyed man as opposed to the well-built Uday. A good body does not give you a good face. He overly tried to be Shah Rukh with his mischiefs from DDLJ. He's probably only 5 feet tall anyways, and I can't blame Shamita for throwing tantrums when the director asked them to kiss. Shamita, she was only in there to dance and exercise, no dialogues, and hardly any acting. The director gave her 3 months to one-up her body. Yes, she does have a fit figure, but I seriously think she did too. Much weightlifting for arms. She looks like a total man with her masculinity. In fact, it looked like her and Uday were wrestling during that music tune song, and competing to see who is more masculine. Jugal, nothing much to say about him except that this should have been his debut. Kim Screechy voiced, bony butt, flat from top to bottom, bimbati. She must be like that in real life too. Obnoxious and airhead. Jimmy okay in his role, pretty kind of unrealistic character, but the most reasonable out of the 3 girls. In real life, she is very arrogant though. I can't understand why, since she's got no reason to be. In her interviews she claims to be such a man killer, and says she can't resist good-looking men. Hello, please, you are nowhere near hot, so calm down. Instead she's making herself sound as if the every man is after her. Anyways. Get a life. Akshay 78 said. I am just writing what I think of this film, not a review. Well, kinda great movie, good emotions. Ash was crap. Shahrukh was awesome like normal, his glasses look like mine, so I am happy. Big B, great like normal, like his hair looked nice. LOLZ, joke. The new commerce was okay, music was great, story was awesome, camera was good. The film isn't that bad as what people say. It's a great film that has got everything to watch. It's a film of romance and Shah Rukh Khan and Big B battles it out not with their fist, but with their mouths. It's a film that is now a super hit and no one can change that. Awesome film. The dance for this film is great, the film can be quite at some times, but you got to be cope with it. Dialogues are great, best I have seen since Dev Das, but great lines, I have the tape and it's great. A new movie that we don't see often, enjoy it. And don't be a baby and point out crap that you don't like because that would be silly. It's a great movie. If you hate it then it's your choice, but the movie is awesome in my view. Angel25 said, "Love is in the air, and the government is trying to get rid of it. And movies like this one are keeping the hope alive, and that is precisely why I am forced to write a review on this movie. I particularly don't like this movie, but at the same time it is not a movie that I spite. So that is why you see me recommending this movie, because the truth is that you can actually see this movie on a time pass basis, once." Storyline. There is not much of a storyline, but at the same time it is not one of the drab same old routine. Of course the whole boy meets girl, some problem arises, boy almost loses girl and then boy gets girl routine have been multiplied by 3 times. Frankly I think that is the limit. I will elaborate on this later. Let's get back to the storyline. 3 boys start their lives in a prestigious school, which is headed by a very strict traditional man, Mr. Bachchan. The school is plagued by lots and lots of rules. Enters our hero Raj, Mr. SRK. He encourages the students to learn music and love, and then our 3 sub-heroes fall in love, and then the movie goes on to show how each one goes through trouble to realize their dreams. The movie also throws light on the complex relationship between Mr. Bachchan, Mr. Kahn, and Ms. Rai. Yep, she is there too, as the dead love of Raj and daughter of the principal. The end of the movie is the reunion of all the 3 as a family sob. My take. Now I come to the part that I love the most. To make things easier, let us divide this section into things I like and understand and things I don't like and don't understand. Things I like and understand. The whole visual aspect of this movie is very appealing. Another thing in this movie are the songs. The songs are very catchy. One is actually able to sing along. They work out great when you are doing some job around the house. The costumes are good on most people too. On the actors now. For once Mr. Bachchan has been cast into a role that suits him. He has a commanding presence in this movie and has done justice to the role. His portrayal of a pinning father is touching. And his role as a strict principal could not have been performed better. His voice still holds the magic to retain everyone's attention. Coming to SRK. Well, this movie is definitely one of the recent few that he has done where the role suits him. He has done a convincing job as a teacher and a pinning lover. This role permits him to act according to his age, and thus he is able to perform without overdoing anything. There are some places that the audience feels that he needs to calm down a little, but then overall this is perhaps one movie where you are able to sit through his performance and maybe even enjoy it. Ms. Rai performed well in her short and sweet role. And there is nothing else to it. Except for one dance, the Holai one, she performed very gracefully. The newcomers now, that is a completely different story. I agree they are new and this was a big project. To read more on the same, all you have to do is just read on. Things I do not like and I don't understand. The very first thing that I don't understand is that, why do all the 3 boys have to fall in love in the same short span of time? And then to top it off, why do all 3 of them have to face some kind of problem? Is it that without everyone facing some problem the movie would never have been possible? And how come if this was a supposed launch for a majority of them, then Miss Shetty and Mr. Chopra got all the leverage? Is it because they were from filmy families? Please someone stop Ms. Rai from doing the Holai dance. A simple fact is that it does not suit her. Also, will please someone tell me the school that the teacher holds class outside the school building, teaches students how to love, narrates his personal love story, and best of all encourages the students to break every possible rule. And to top it all off, he goes to the principal to make excuses for the students. Man, that would be my dream school, so anybody who wants to join me there? The thing I don't like about the movie is the newcomers overacting in most of the scenes, but then maybe, just maybe, they will improve as time progresses. The role given to Anupam Kher was way below his caliber. Both him and Archana Puran Singh do their best as far as the role permits and actually manage to make one laugh. Conclusion. As I mentioned before, this movie is good to see once, with your friends on a day when you have all the time in the world. But please leave your brains on the doorstep as you rather not have it with you during this experience. On the whole, it is a normal experience. Though a little on the mushy and catchy side, this movie did not leave a lasting impression on me. But at the same time, it is one of the few movies out there that can actually be sat through. So friends, enjoy this love story, perhaps knowing that this is one movie in these times that actually is being watched amidst all those melancholic and depressing movies that portray hell after the wedding, wink wink. Love and peace. Warrior said. I saw Mohabbatein with my dating friend in a cinema hall. Don't mind, dating friend equals girlfriend is not equals love. Though that was a bitter experience for me as a friend finder, but we both enjoyed the movie very much. Mohabbatein is a big budget movie like K3G etc. But this film has some different characteristics. This movie is one of Amitabh's comeback movie. Shah Rukh had to prove his own ability on the Kaho Na Pier high craze. And both of them has succeeded very comfortably in this movie. About main hero-heroine of this movie. The main hero of this movie is Shah Rukh, character Raj Aryan. Heroine is a ghost. OOPS, sorry. She is Aishwarya Rai. Amitabh is father of Aish in this movie. The other co-hero heroines are Jugal Hansraj, Kim Sharma, Aditya Chopra, Jimmy Shea Gill etc. etc. The story is about a pathetic past of the student Raj Aryan who lost his love due to the strong discipline of the institution, and came after long years as a teacher to change everything. He wants to spread the voice of love among the students and at last succeeded. In short, this is the fact. There are so much acting, so much song inside the movie, I don't want to describe them. If you want to know the story, please watch it. About King Khan, Aish and Big B in this movie. I have written above that this is the comeback movie of Big B, and I think he has succeeded very much in this movie. Actually, he is a legend in the film industry, and after the bogus movies like Lal Badshah, etc., this character of him has largely accepted by the movie crazy people. Though in this story, he is a looser man in the sentimental sense, but as an actor he is a great winner in this movie. He started his comeback from Kaun Banega Karapati and completed it in this movie. Undoubtedly, Shah Rukh is one of the most popular actor in our country. His role as a violin teacher in this movie is a super hit style. Though the character is fine. I think overacting is a vital disease of King Khan. But no doubt this is a better movie than KNPH. Aishwarya is no doubt one of the most beautiful actress in film industry. But she had not too many works in this movie. But in short time she is very impressive. About co-actors. 1. Jugal Hansraj is a very good-looking guy. But he have to learn many things about acting. First, debate with my girlfriend. 2. Jimmy Shea Gill is a very smart guy and is improving every day. He is very impressive in this movie. 3. I don't want to watch any Aditya Chopra movie. Please expel him. Let him do the director's job. Second, debate with my girlfriend. 4. Kim Sharma, don't know anything about acting. I heard that she will be working in a Chinese movie. 5. Sharara, girl is not impressive. She knows nothing about acting. 6. Pretty as a new actress acted very maturely. She is better than Kim and Sharara girl. Why this movie is a super hit? 1. For reasons. 1. Superstar appearances of SRK, Aish and Big B. 2. Big budget. 3. Emotional background. 4. Super hit songs. If you find more, you are welcome in comments. About multimedia effect. The multimedia effects has used in this movies are very good. Though the effects are very easy one, but in Hindi movies the uses of multimedia effects is quite different. They are always welcome. Super hit songs. First song by Lataji. Humko Humi said Churalo. This is a superb song. Every song in this movie is super hit from Chalt Chalt to Ankan Kuli Hoon. Every song is superb. The instrumental music is a great one. That is unique. I loved it very much. The music album was a big hit before the movie was released. Conclusion. My first and last dating was spoiled due to criticize of the movie. That is a mistake by me. She is Hrithik. Crazy, I just told that Shah Rukh is more impressive in this movie than KNPH Hrithik, she just gave me talak. Was I wrong? Continue in comments, comments are welcome. Shrininet1 said. Will someone tell me why Bollywood is so very glued to this word? Mohabbat or love or peer, it just keeps repeating in every movie. Let's get this straight. Mohabbatein surely doesn't meet any, or maybe every, for you guys, expectations that one must have had before seeing the film, especially after going through the glowing and flashy promos that, similar to Mission Kashmir, gave us a feeling we were in for another Titanic of sorts. Titanic? Ha ha. This one is more comparable to the 1912 version. These movies have become an example to show how redundant our love stories have become. There's nothing new, just new wine in an old bottle. Well, talking about the new wine, there's Amitabh instead of the stereotypical villains who have been dominating the love stories of late. Shah Rukh, similar to the savior of yesteryear movies, drops in at just the right time and ties all the important knots, love and forget studies. The lovers, also students of Gurukul, are all bozos of the first order, who get inspired by Shah Rukh's experience and set off to challenge Big Daddy Amitabh and his own rigid rules. Surely, Inka Jadu Chal Gaya. Cliché, galore. Meanwhile, Shah Rukh also reveals that he was a former student of Gurukul, chucked out because he loved the principal's daughter. Destined to take revenge, he learns music and sets off to meet old Amitabh, asking for a job. Initially rejected, he finds a place in everyone's heart. Of course he has to. Narin to picture Narin Chalenga by. More cliché, for you. The three students, coming from God knows where, all stay in the same room, cliché number 1, and also meet their love, rather dream girls, simultaneously and keep discussing about it in their room. Studies? Forget it, yeah to love story high NA. Unusual circumstances make them attracted to their dream girls and Shah Rukh only adds fuel to the fire. The girls, all stereotypically cast, make most of their roles, mixture of DDLJ, Prem Rock, and maybe some other B-grade potboiler, wearing wonderfully skimpy clothes, except Preeti who gets a role so well unsuitable for her figure and face. The scenes range from the bearable to the boring, grating on our nerves occasionally. Poor Amitabh, he gets a role so wonderfully deft of emotions, that it starts looking unbelievable. How rigid can a father or principal get? His emotions have been kept under wraps through out the movie, and his face and stature looks more like Madame Tussauds wax model. Though he has acted superbly through out the movie, his role could have been developed and nurtured infinitely more. Every scene, we see him frowning, standing as if he was in a P.T. drill where attention was the only word the teacher knew. Shah Rukh, on the other hand, has been awarded with lot more expressions and opportunities than all the others, making his role seem lot more real and lively. He makes good use of it, and towers above all, making it worthwhile during the 3-hour, 35-minute saga. He is superb in the emotional scenes and confrontations with Amitabh, and gives his role the required depth. Aish is given nothing much to do, but look at her, it's her worst makeup since Dai Askshar Prem Ku. On one side you have Taral, where she looked absolutely gorgeous, and now this. The music is nothing to rave about and is definitely inferior to the earlier Yash Chopra classics like Silsila or Lam. But, let me add, they are infinitely better than the Bichu or Kurukshetra we've been hearing of late. Many may say it's inspired by DDLJ, but it is surely hummable. Chauta high. The direction is average at times, pondering at many spots and not as polished as expected. Chauta high. Ditto the dialogues. Aditya Chopra can surely do much better than this. The length of 3 hours and 35 minutes is surely off-putting, but let me add, it would have been infinitely more watchable if SRK and Amitabh were given more opportunities and scenes. The young group tries their best, but not quite enough in a movie like this. The effort they've shown on screen is okay at best. So, better luck next time. The technical values are almost impeccable. Sharmishta Roy does a good job with the elaborate sets, Manmohan Singh's cinematography is commendable, etc. All in all, Mohabbatein is a no, which may survive because of the technical values and able acting by SRK and Amitabh. Kun Fundu said, "How many wonderlands can you create before the fallout begins?" The answer is 2. Hence, after the super-duper success of DTPH and KKHH, which won both audiences and good reviews, this one looks set to miss at least appreciation from the critics. Diwali release and SRK, Amitabh together first time with a cameo from Ash should be enough to get in audiences and get a hit status, but the film is a complete non-starter and a pathetic follow-up to the highly entertaining and wonderfully visualized DDLJ from the second-time director, Aditya Chopra. As it is, the world we live in is not perfect, and it feels even more imperfect when you see Mohabbatein. None of the characters are supposed to be rich or belong to upper strata of the society other than a girl. Yet, none of them looks as if they are middle-class people with set incomes and hence set limits to express themselves in parties, clothes and vacations. The Institute in Shimla looks a joke, with only thing looking good about the film being the ever-present palm leaf. The 3 love stories are so artificial that you can't sympathize with either of them. A widow, or not you can't tell, is conveniently from a rich house and also virgin. How the hell you expect a college guy to fall in for a non-virgin aged widow after all? And she does some social service too. Another girl must be different perspective, so make her a tomboy and make her wear as skimpy the clothes in a so-called family film as you can. And there again, the girl travels all the country and ends up in a place where her would-be lover stays. Then again, she has no pretensions about wearing an extremely revealing outfit to party, but once it is wet, she suddenly discovers she is an Indian girl. The third is a carbon copy of Charisma wannabe. And that is what she remains, wannabe. The 3 young actors are pathetic as well. Uday Chopra is over the top and highly charged, but he needs a few acting lessons before. Jugal Hanraj has pretty much one expression throughout the film. Jimmy Sheargill is bearable and overdoes the sweet guy flirting part a bit too much. Probably the only person who stand out is Shefali Chaya, with her 3-scene role being well done. The script is full of loopholes to drive a motor arcade through it. The flashback sees Ash part, and why would an actress 26 years of age want to be cast as a 19-year-old is beyond me. And how old was SRK in flashback? 21. Well, he certainly did not look like it. He is well dressed and makes more than one fashion statement in the film. The film revolves around a juggling screenplay trying to balance the load the director has put on rather unnecessarily. The settings are far too Indian to pass for an Indian campus or city. Anadi has not been able to put in the emotions and soul behind a wonderland. And that is the biggest undoing of the movie. Whatever there is pretty plastic and unmoving. SRK is good in a role that demanded more than his usual stuff. He has clearly gone wrong in some scenes, like how should a teacher show enthusiasm and humor? He did not do homework on that part at all. Still, it is a much better performance than one expected from him. Most of the film rests on his shoulder, and he carries it with aplomb. Decent enough in the year to get really close to an award, despite some clear drawbacks. Amitabh Bachchan is marvelous in a role suiting him to a T. But his role is pretty abnormal. He exudes a charm and persona of kind-hearted man, and his actions are just the opposite. Director lost it big time here. The tour de force is definitely the climax, where he brings the house down with an exceptional encore. Ash is passable in the brief time she is here. She just does not look the Yash Chopra heroine in the class of a Rekha, Sridevi or Madhuri. Technically, the film has zero research, at least one that is authentic. Costumes, art and choreography are all plain modern and nothing else. No research into what each character needs and would be wearing, or what type of a setting would they be living in a particular geographical area is done. Songs and music is just about okay, and no great shakes either. The direction is pretty impressive in technical aspects, but all screwed up in characters. Perhaps too many characters to manage. All in all, a dismal follow-up to DDLJ, a go back and do the homework that made the difference in DDLJ. And with the talent you had at your disposal, try something new and bold and use them doing justice to them. Rating 1/5. P.S. Mohabbatein is the first Yash Raj film not to get a Best Actress nomination ever. It got SRK the Critics Award for Best Actor. The film was a decent hit in Indian urban centers and overseas. SRK developed some differences with Yash Raj banner during the making and is reportedly not doing their next film. Jasbemin said, Yash Raj Films P. Limited S. Mohabbatein is a film that portrays the battle between love and fear. It is a film that is based in a small North Indian town. A film that is set in one of the most prestigious educational institutions of the country, Gurukul. The autocratic disciplinarian Narayan Shankar, Amitabh Bachchan, governs Gurukul with an iron hand. He runs the institution keeping in mind its three pillars: tradition, honor, and discipline. Every year he reminds the fresh batch of students that the outside world is closed to them once they have decided to enroll in this prestigious institution. And he warns them that any flouting or bending of rules will not be tolerated. To this institution come three youngsters. Boys from different parts of the country, with different characteristics and different stories to tell. They enter this cold and strict atmosphere where only excellence is encouraged, where fun and frivolity is frowned upon, where laughing or sharing a joke is deemed unacceptable. It is here that Vicky, Uday Chopra, Seema, Jugal Hansraj, and Karan, Jimmy Shea Gill, form a kind of unbreakable bond. A bond that will require them to face the most difficult of tests and make choices that they never thought that they would have to make. Because it is here that these boys break the cardinal rule of Gurukul and Narayan Shankar, they fall in love. When Vicky, Seema, and Karan first meet Ishika, Shamita Shetty, Sanjana, Kim Sharma, and Kiran, Preeti Jangiani, respectively, their lives are placed in a turmoil as they would like to meet the girls, talk to the girls and dream about the girls, but the omnipotent figure of Narayan Shankar looms large. It is only with the arrival of Raj Aryan, Shah Rukh Khan, the maverick music teacher, who encourages the boys to follow their hearts and break open the gates of Gurukul, that the boys actually begin living a life that they earlier only dreamed of. Mohabbatein slowly becomes a story of the battle between what the two stellar men, Narayan Shankar and Raj Aryan, stand for. Two stubborn men who live their lives with completely opposing principles. One who stands for love and everything that the heart encompasses, and the other who stands for discipline and fear, and who believes that love only leads to pain and weakness. The basic plot is refreshingly different from the Mills and Boons fairs one is so used to witnessing in film after film. The conflict between Amitabh and Shah Rukh is another trump card of this enterprise. Moreover, the three love stories have been cleverly woven in the narration and heighten the conflict between Amitabh and Shah Rukh. Writer-director Aditya Chopra has handled the confrontation sequences between the two stars with aplomb. Not once do you feel that the writer in Chopra has tilted on any one side. The two stars have been given equal footage and importance, both get to deliver punch-packed dialogues, and both look the characters they portray. But there are a few loose ends in the screenplay, notable among them being the fact that Amitabh chooses to remain silent despite Shah Rukh's throwing a challenge at him. Despite being a strict disciplinarian, Amitabh bows down to every demand that Shah Rukh makes, although he maintains time and again that he is against any changes. Even the love stories of the three love pairs seem to have been stretched at times. After establishing the two principal characters, Aditya Chopra deviates from the main plot and goes to lengths to develop the three love stories, which didn't deserve as much footage as has been projected. But barring Uday Chopra Shamita Shetty, the romantic track of the other two lovers does not generate any excitement. The Jugal Hansraj Kim Sharma love story suffers due to the fact that it has been stretched unduly. Ditto for the romantic tale of Jimmy Shergill Preeti Jangiani, which also takes a long time to culminate. The film could have also done without a few characters, which add to the length of the film, the Amrish Purishefoli track in Jimmy's love story and the comedy track involving Anupam Kher Archana appearancing. A few songs can also be deleted to make the narration crisper. Director Aditya Chopra is at his best when he is handling the two stars. The goings-on don't get overdramatic even once in those scenes. Even the transition of the love stories in the initial reels is captivating. But Aditya should have realized the importance of the length. What can be conveyed in 2.5 hours need not be stretched to 3 hours and 36 minutes. This kind of a length was just not required. Jatin Lalit's music is of a mixed variety. The film has a couple of numbers that stand out, notable among them being Humko Humis Chura Lo and Ankan Kuli Ho Ya Ho Band. The music piece, picturized on The Three Lovers, is excellent as well. Manmohan Singh's cinematography is brilliant. The exterior of Gurukul, shot in UK, gives the film a rich look. Dialogues, penned by Aditya Chopra, are poetic and touch the heart. It is very difficult to draw comparisons between the two principal performances. Amitabh Bachchan lends class to his role that required a performer of substance. He looks every bit the character he is required to portray, a strict disciplinarian. Cast in a role that goes well with his age, he is sure to be loved by one and all. Shah Rukh Khan is outstanding as Raj Aryan. The tension-filled scenes with Amitabh and then the light ones with the boys prove that he is an actor with an infinite range. The sequence in the climax, when he surrenders to Amitabh's wishes to safeguard the interests of the three boys, is applaud-worthy. Aishwarya Rai has nothing concrete to do, although she appears in bits and parts. Among the three love pairs, it is Uday Chopra who stands out with a winning performance. He is confident while facing the two giants and uses his physique to his advantage in other scenes. Jimmy Sheargill is quite good, though his role is very much the stereotype. Jugal Hansraj is awkward, though he tries his best to make an impression. Among the three heroines, only Preeti Janjiani is adequate. Her Indian looks and the simplicity that the character demanded comes out in the film. Shamita Shetty lacks the looks of a heroine, while Kim Sharma tries hard to look convincing but fails. Amrish Puri is wasted in an insignificant role. So is Chef Oli. Anupam Kher and Archana Puran Singh are just about okay. On the whole, Mohabbatein has a towering cast and terrific initial as its trump cards, but its excessive length is its biggest drawback. The film needs to be trimmed by at least 25 minutes to make the pace faster. Sudhanva said, "The film Mohabbatein, which I am talking above, is a beautifully scripted, acted and directed love story. All the new actors have been comfortable in their debut performance. Experienced performers like Amitabh, Shah Rukh and Ash have suited their roles accordingly. The interesting part is the tussle between Amitabh, Narayan Shankar, and Shah Rukh, Raj Aryan. The idea of Gurukul is also very well plotted. The lyrics and music is also good. Ash is also excellent in the little role she has got above. All Amitabh still shows why he is still considered as the superstar, as he is seen as a mature person which suits his age, and he plays it perfectly. The idea of love story is little different, over and above a movie to watch with a family and enjoy it." Jaya said, "The most awaited movie and the most disappointing one. Dear readers, by now you all know the story, but just to brief. Shah Rukh Khan, Raj Aryan, is in love with Aishwarya, Megha, whose father is Amitabh Bachchan, Shankar Mahadevan, who is also the principal of Gurukul, where Mr. Raj Aryan has come to teach love up sorry music because the princey believes that fear is keener than love. We have 6 waist sorry newcomers in the movie, where all of them need acting lessons. The only positive thing in the movie: 1. The songs rather the music. 2. Good performance again by Mr. Amitabh Bachchan. Flaws: 1. 4-hour movie. PLZ spare us. 2. Once a person is thrown out of Gurukul, he can't a job anywhere, but miracle he gets an admission in Gurukul itself. Wow. 3. I was hoping Shah Rukh would be more natural, but guess some things never change. 0. 4. There was a lot of competition here among the new girls in terms of revealing. Even Archana Puran Singh joined them. Let's see who gets the award. PLZ vote. 5. The best part: all the 3 couples are getting lucky at the same time. Never seen this one happening. YA. Really Mohabbatein. True love. YA. All 3 fall in love at the same time, hug and propose at the same time. Wow, even have music going on at the same time. Cool. I would love to see something like this happening to me. Yep, there are a few scenes here and there which make you yara WWNN less. The only asset, Amitabh Bachchan. Or else the movie is really a bore. A big bore." PRSH said, A big no-no to the movie. Why does an accomplished director get carried away? Why? Doesn't he realize that the movie is going out of his hands? Doesn't he feel that it is stretching a bit too much, or that people will start yawning towards the end? A big letdown by somebody who has directed Dilwale Dulhania. To begin with, your plot is a copy of an English movie that is par excellence. It is not a problem if our director adds masala to it to make a genuine potboiler, but make a good one. The movie is so repetitive. The viewer is hammered by scene after scene that either has slow motion or an AAAAA chorus, which gets on your nerves. Aishwarya comes briefly in the movie to bug the hell out of you. Not that she is not beautiful, but if you are constantly giving an expression that I am so sweet and I am the most tender thing on earth, that's the time you say enough. All the other starlets just appear briefly. The only two good things about the movie definitely are Amitabh and Shah Rukh. Hats off to their talent. Tina_Shri said, I am a total movie buff, but I have yet to come across a more trash movie than Mohabbatein. I have never been impressed by Aditya Chopra, though people raved about D.D.L.J, but I didn't like that movie too. But Mohabbatein, well, I'll consider it the worst film ever made on this planet. The story of the movie is terrible and the 6 newcomers are atrocious. The less said about them, the better. The girls surely were not competing in the acting department, but who could wear the bare minimum? It's a shame to call them actresses. What amazes me the most is that this movie was an all-India hit. How could the people sit in the theatre for so long? If I watched this movie on my cable, it was only because of Amitabh Bachchan and to some extent for the music, but I left the movie halfway. Shah Rukh is hell of an irritating actor, and I can't stand him one bit. He is so monotonous actor. I don't know what makes him such an immensely popular actor in India. He is no match for Amir Khan. Aishwarya Rai has been wasted in a minuscule ghostly role. I have yet to come across a teacher who teaches and preaches love to his students with utmost interest and sincerity. Great. Keep up the good work, sir, but please don't give today's youth a wrong lesson or advice. Loverboy for you _17 said, well, I am not a GR8 fan of Hindi movies, but considering all the star cast, Aishwarya Rai, smiley face, and all the hype surrounding the movie, I decided to give this movie a go. I really regret spending $50, 4 hours, and more importantly my mental ability for this movie. Movies are supposed to relax you, and this movie does the exact opposite of it. This movie attains new heights. In sucking and boring, that is. It is about the love story of 3 couples, or is it 4 or maybe 5? And their love story is as believable as the fact that Mother Teresa is the Don of the Mafia. One more thing is the exposure of the leads of the movie, including Archana Puran Singh. The movie has hummable music, but the songs are too long. Don't ask me about the plot, cause I don't want you guys to get a mental breakdown and run a huge bill with your shrink. But wait, what if the shrink has watched this movie? My advice is simple, don't go near this movie. Then Chasa said, I'm not a movie buff, somehow. Saw this movie recently. It's a typical formula of romances that unfold the Archer's way. The story of this ode to cleavage is well known, and so are other aspects through many reviews here. Admittedly, I have a drawback, an eye for unnecessary detail. Readers bear with me. I am like this only. This time it's on the crimson Kainar leaves, which swirl across the screen during ill-timed flashbacks of fleeting ghost, you know who. Whatever the timing be, these swirling leaves made me feel nostalgic. Yep, my college excursion to the fabled valley of Kashmir. Kainar leaves. The riot of color is witnessed everywhere at the onset of autumn, as the maple, Kainar, leaves turn flaming red. A mere whiff of wind sends these leaves in all hues, swirling across that vale. It's just exhilarating beauty. These very stately chinars, providing shady screen for wonderful style of living in gently rocking houseboats, are now objects of dread in J and K. With these tree trunks as hiding places for the explosives, Kashmir is burning, and we only see flames of Kainar. And we are refused to enter. Long back the great Sufi saint Nuyud Din refused to enter a royal garden, saying, if I visit this place now, I shall not be allowed to visit paradise hereafter. What an irony! Ma Tujhe Salam. Saurabh said, the most awaited movie of the year 2000, movie with 2 superstars Shah Rukh Khan and Amitabh Bachchan, movie from the makers of DDLJ, wow! Cast, Amitabh Bachchan, Shah Rukh Khan, Aishwarya Rai, and 6 newcomers. The plot: Shah Rukh Khan in love with Ash, Amitabh Bachchan, father of Ash, who is also some kind of principal of some college, does not approve their relationship. Ash commits suicide. Shah Rukh Khan is then bent upon proving that the policy followed by Amitabh Bachchan, Mohabbat or Darki Jung Mine Hamsha Darki Hai Jeet Hoti Hai, is wrong. Oh. Just a minute, I forgot, 3 more heroes and heroines were there in the movie. Now, what were they doing? Frankly folks, I found the movie so boring that halfway through the movie I fell asleep. I don't know how people can have the patience of watching this 3.5-hour movie. Performances: the performance of all the characters is very ordinary. The newcomers still have a lot to learn. I'm trying to be a bit less harsh to the newcomers. Music. I am a very big fan of Jatin Lalit, Remember Jo Jeeta Wohi Sikandar, and Yes Boss and DDLJ and PBDHHN, the music directors of this movie. However, the music isn't all that good. A few hum-able songs like Hum Ko Humi Se, Chalt Chalt, and Ark Hein Kuli are present. Is any friend or relative of yours suffering from insomnia? Well, he/she should no longer take sleeping piles. Just suggest him/her to watch Mohabbatein and he/she will have a sound sleep. That's exactly what happened with me, and that's exactly the reason why I'm going to suggest this movie to my friends, so that everybody can have a sound sleep. Abhishek said. Aditya Chopra's Mohabbatein has netted 50 million rupees in Bombay, excluding cinemas which screened the film on fixed hire, in 19 weeks. To give a comparative idea, Kaho Na, Pierre Hai had netted 60 million rupees in 60 weeks. Aditya's debut film, Dilwale Dulhania Le Jayenge, which is running in its 216th week at Bombay's Maratha Mandir Cinema, has collected a net of Rs 10,000 in 215 weeks. The net collections of Rajri's all-time hit, Hum Aap Hain Kaun, was 120 million rupees in 3 years in Bombay, excluding fixed-hire cinemas. Incidentally, Mohabbatein has taken the least number of weeks to cross the 50 million mark ever. The Walrus said. After hearing all the hype about this movie, I had really high expectations, especially after DDLJ. But after seeing this movie, I could not believe that the same person had directed both of them. First of all, the story: in the true Bollywood tradition, this has been inspired, nay, copied from Dead Poets Society. Only difference is that this has been given a love angle. I won't dwell any further on this since most of you already know the story. Secondly, I know this is supposed to be escapist and feel-good cinema, but how unreal can you get? It seems Mr. Aditya has discovered some new town in the Himalayas. These people are superhuman. They run around almost naked in winter and don't catch colds or hypothermia. Especially the ladies, who must be especially protected because of their, how should I out this, assets. I also believe he has an accurate picture of future global warming, since on Valentine's Day, February 14th, there is no snow on the ground, leaves are falling, equals autumn a fall, and everyone, as I said before, runs around in micro-skirts without feeling cold, probably mutants. Mr. Aditya must have some kind of weird obsession with teenage girls. No other reason could explain why the heroines always wear tank tops and micro skirts. How can I forget the maple leaves? They seem to be everywhere, probably another one of his weird obsessions. Anupam Kher's talent has been wasted on a role that could have been easily handled by Johnny Lever. His role gives a new meaning to the phrase "how low can you go?" Ash has also been reduced to a chodale. Enough said. The newcomers could have been better, but their talents are re-wasted by dumb love stories that have no depth or substance. Salman Khan should watch out for Uditya, the new shirtless wonder. The only saving grace of this film is superb acting by Shah Rukh and Amitabh. If it had been anyone else, this film would have been a disaster. I recommend you wait for this one to come on TV.so that when it does comes on, you can turn the TV off. Mastermind said. Yash Chopra's Mohabbatein is a little too sweet to resist. It's the same Yash Chopra film, A Love Triangle, but this time he's taken new faces and his favorite Shah Rukh Khan. The sets of this movie is really good to watch, especially the Gurukul College. It's in London. He bought it for 4 crores. Shah Rukh is playing against Aishwarya. This is different story. Shah Rukh is helping the three guys' love life against the odd and strict rule of Amitabh Bachchan, who is the principal of that institution. Amitabh and Shah Rukh are rivals where Amitabh doesn't believe in love, while Shah Rukh does. Obviously love wins in the end, and Amitabh has to fall on his knees and accept it. It's a good movie to watch with your friends and not family members. Vinay said, "Some films never end. This film truly never ends, but luckily your interest in it ends quickly enough. This is one of the most overrated film of the year. The music is not befitting for a Yash Chopra film. It is very hard to believe that Yash Chopra, who gave us films like Silsila and Lam, could make a film like this. Yash Chopra likes to specialize in human relations, then why make an alien movie? Set in an alien land. Showing Indian values and shooting the film in England. Our filmmakers have really come a long way. One thing Silsila and Lam had was a script, and this is precisely what Mohabbatein does not have. If you have seen the movie, you will realize that it is a crisscross of so many movies. If Silsila was strawberry jam, Lam was apricot jam, Dar was orange jam, then with Mohabbatein Yash Chopra has attempted a mixed fruit jam. I am not an expert, but sure as hell I can differentiate between good and bad films. In the last few years, we have been exposed to so many love movies that it has made me really sick indeed. Watching romantic movies is wonderful if there is a good script to back it up. I still remember films like Ek Juj Kuliya, Silsila, Rajuban Gaya Gentleman, Sajan, Kabi Hon Kabi Na, Lam and Dil, which I really like watching. Dil of course was a masala movie, but a good one nevertheless. We have not been given good cinema, but only colorful cinema, all dreams and fantasies really. Oh, I wish life was so hunky-dory, nobody hungry, nobody poor. All you have to worry about is marrying your lover. And the worst part is the explanation given by these filmmakers. I have made a family film, one which everyone can see along with their families. People come to watch films to ease their tensions. We take them away from their mundane lives and transport them to a land of fantasy. No social message, no daredevil stunts, oh. That costs money and I am bankrupt after paying the stars. No intellectual comedy, no emotional stimulus, just plain love. I love you, you love me, and everything will be okay. We wish life were that simple. Even I can write a script like this. Rich boy and rich girl fall in love after initial hardships and ego hassles. Because they are rich, the director gets to show a vulgar display of wealth of both the family's grandeurs. So that excludes the tension of economic hardship and earning money. Abab kupazit na paisa hai, kab kamayega. Then something intervenes, maybe in the form of parental pressure or some other circumstances. For a while the going is tough. But in the end everything falls in place and everybody is happy. This is the main prototype. I just counted in my mind, and by changing either one of the elements in the above blueprint, I can write 10 scripts myself. Oh, how can I forget? We have to shoot some songs in Switzerland or Seychelles. More color. And if you want something hacker, add a suicide, a rape, a lost brother or Khandani Dushmani. Bingo, you've got your movie. Various permutations and combinations will ensure that you keep on making love movies all your life, all very hacker. But you will always come out of the theater thinking, I have seen this somewhere, but because so many of these movies are being made, you will not be able to remember which.